By the way, the number that a lot of other folks listen to the other afternoon show, it's called the Voice Box. And we got a lot of tweets and Facebooks and whatever about what goes on here and all. The best thing you can do is when you're, by yourself or inebriated or whatever. The Voice Box is open 24 hours a day at 347-6-SIRIUS. Do we have that at jthomas.com, Garrett?
I believe so.
We should put it on there. And that is open 24 hours a day, and you can just speak your mind. And we listen to everything. We read everything. And sometimes I'd rather hear it in your voice. This is a broadcast entity, and rather actually hear you say it rather than me read it or somebody else read it. Let's welcome Shuli back to the show.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Jay.
Welcome back, Shuli.
Thank you, Christina.
What's the matter, Shuli? No laughing?
New and improved.
All right, there he is. By the way, many of you know that I'm a New Orleans Saints fan. And one of our brethren back there, a retired player, but Darren Sharper, has been accused of multiple rapes in multiple states.
In hot water, Jim.
And he's in real hot water.
Yep.
And the accusation is that he would have a limousine. And he's a handsome guy and a wealthy guy, a limousine, and he would pick up women who were glad to go with him and meet them at various clubs. He would have champagne and everything else. In my estimation, these women, before the night was over, were going to be chowing down on this guy's genitals. Okay? At the very least. And yet he is accused of needing to give them roofies or X or whatever it is, and then they would wake up in various states of undress and say, it reminds me of this woman that used to go into this bar all the time. She'd come in the afternoon, and usually there wasn't anybody in the bar. And the bartender would say, what'll it be? Quite attractive woman. She'd say, I'd like a Sam Adams, please. So he'd pour her a Sam Adams, and she would drink it, and within a matter of moments, she would pass out. And so she comes back in, and she does this 2 or 3 more times. So the bartender, she's passed out. He goes around to the bar, he lifts her dress up, puts her butt up in the air, and gives it to her. That's rape, by the way. That's rape. So then she kept coming in, and he would call his buddies and go, look, this woman comes in, she has Sam Adams, she passes out. And his buddies were just coming in, waiting in the back. They would come in, 3 or 4 of them at a time. You know these people, don't you, Shuli? 3 or 4 at a time. Yeah. And then finally, she comes in, and she says, I think I'd like a Budweiser. And the bartender says, really, why don't you want a Sam Adams? She said, because it makes my pussy hurt.
Yeah, like the old days, I would have laughed really hard right there.
Yeah.
But I don't want to piss
makes
anybody
it sore.
off.
Brandon, have you ever heard that story before?
No, I have not.
These are not jokes. These are actual stories ripped from the headlines. And so that's what they're accusing. I can't not laugh at my own shit right now. That's what is happening to Darren Sharper. These women he says would just pass out, and he would climb on top of them. Now here's the weird thing. He wrote a book called NFL Dads, dedicated to their daughters. He wrote this book. And he says that my daughter makes me mindful of how women are treated, undervalued, and exploited. This is before he was arrested. Yeah. And he...
Not the other ones.
He also
you don't know
was raised...
my journey, actually.
By a good family. His mother and father were with him the whole time. He comes from, both parents. His brother won a Super Bowl with the Ravens. He graduated one of the top scholars in his class at William and Mary, and not many pro players come out of there. It's really odd. And he says that he's going to beat all of it. He's accused, I think, of, 8 or 9 rapes or something like that. He is accused of this thing, and I'm looking at this thing and wondering, I wish I was the lawyer, because I would get to say, well, you were going to fuck him anyway, weren't you, miss? That's what I would have said to him.
You are not far off. His lawyer released 5 counterpoints.
What were they?
Number 1, the Miami PD has closed a particular case with them, pressing charges against him. Number 2, the rape kits from the 2 LA accusers contain semen from 2 other men.
Busy night in the limo world.
Wow.
Though it also includes his semen. But 2 other men.
Oh,
Number 3, the lead detective from the Arizona case was wrong about Sharper's semen being found on an accuser's leggings.
You can never get semen
You
out of
mean
the
the
legging.
women, the women pull their leggings off and say, look, that's his semen. Here's what's weird, Christina.
What do you mean?
Wouldn't you be embarrassed, Christina,
Not if I got raped, I wouldn't be embarrassed. I'm all about for justice. I'd go get the
What about
son of
if
a
you
bitch.
woke up and you had gone there and you were going to get laid anyway, and you wake up?
No,
and-
it's up to me. I make the choice.
Oh, you're one of those?
Yep,
Yeah.
one of those.
One of those?
One of those broads that has all this respect for
I
herself.
never really
It's crazy.
Party pooper.
I never really put that into. I didn't put that into the pipe before I smoked it. That is your choice. But thank you, Garrett, very much for bringing that up. Yeah, because
3 of the women had their own lube, by the way, so that's got to.
Yeah.
Well, number 4 is one accuser had quote-unquote rough sex with a man the next day. And Sharp's attorney says that the conversations describing that incident sounded nothing like rape. So,
Wow.
Wait, rough
So
sex
a
the next
guy
day with a
stepped-
different person?
yes.
Yes. A guy steps forward and says, I had rough sex with her. That's a good guy right there.
Well, he's
he-
got to
I mean,
clear himself.
Obviously a Saints fan.
Absolutely.
You can't hide it because once they find out that you're lying, then you're just automatically guilty.
He's going to be wearing a Sharper jersey on
Do you
the
know how
stand.
they found out that she had rough sex? When they did the rape kit, the sperm all had black eyes.
That was not a sympathy laugh. That was a good one. that one made the cut.
Yeah. So since we're talking about, what was the 5th one, Garrett? You went 1 through 4.
5 is one witness for the New Orleans prosecution is under investigation for similar allegations of drugging women and was allegedly at the scene with the accuser at the time when Sharper spiked her drink.
Wow. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I mean, not that, I'm defending a guy that's a rapist, but what's crazy is why so many women are saying he did it. So now here's what I think. I definitely think he did it. I definitely think he drugged them all up and did it, and he had a buddy that helped him. I mean, that's just my opinion, but I think he did it.
It just goes to show you what an all-star he is. I mean, he's got as many rape charges as he does Pro Bowl appearances, I think.
Absolutely.
You
Can't
know?
wait till this plays out
He
on
could have been like,
SVU.
oh, I'll do 1. Yeah. No. What does a champion do? Above and beyond. Let's do 9.
The reality is,
One for the thumb.
and in Europe, they handle these things entirely differently in Europe. I mean, even in England or in France or Czechoslovakia, they handle these things entirely differently. They look at it and they go, look, wasn't this going to probably happen to them anyway? And weren't they getting in the car? Weren't they drinking and doing drugs and doing whatever? And who knows what their decision, Christina, to your point, what their decision-making process was while they were inebriated.
Right.
Now, when they wake up the next day, they may be unhappy that not only were they screwed, but their girlfriends are laying, splayed-legged out all over the divan. And I've been in this situation before where 2 buddies of mine were on with one woman, and she freaks out in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And she says to them, you shouldn't have done this to me. Now, she went there of her own free will. My 2 buddies freaked completely out. This is years ago. They're both married with families now.
They chopped her up, right?
No, the girl, they go, listen, you're a wonderful person. They went the whole deal.
God.
We didn't mean to do anything. You said it was okay, and we're both having sex with you, and we'll do anything. This is an absolute true story. We'll do anything to make it up to you. And she stares at them and she says, I'd like to see you suck his dick. That's what she said.
I
Call
love
the
it.
cops. I raped you.
No,
That's
no.
what I would say.
She did. No, but she wasn't doing it to, she just said it in her stupor that she wanted, to see some bisexual action. To this day, now they didn't do it. They somehow got out of it. The guy who was asked to be the sucker, to this day will be sitting around years later who go, why in the hell did she pick me to suck the dick?
It is fucked up.
He's never recovered. Now, what's funny is that he was standing in line at a hotel once checking in, and he looks to his right, and there she was with her 2 kids and her husband. And glances were shared, but then no, hello, how you doing?
It would have been such a great story to share in front of the kids.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how crazy your mom was back in the day. Can you imagine if
I love when you meet a woman and she's got the husband there, and you go, oh, Gloria, how's it go? Oh, hi, Bob. Good to meet you, man. What's happening? Yeah. Well, we knew each other from, church.
Can you imagine if the guy actually, she let him do it, and then they actually started, and the guy starts sucking his dick, and he loves it, and he just tells her, put the do not disturb sign on your way out. I don't need you. Get lost.
I once was faced with where did you meet my wife? I said, oh, we worked at the suicide hotline together. That's why, we're so intimate. An Oklahoma English teacher has traded sex for grades. It's toward the end of the year, and all these stories are coming out. Do we have the news report, Brandon? Now, I want you to listen carefully because I believe... Is this the one with the announcer woman has a funny name?
For HuffPost.
Yeah.
For HuffPost Live, I'm Logan Tittle.
Hold on. Bring it back. Logan Tittle is the one. They've chosen Logan Tittle.
She's showing some cleavage for her last name of Tittle.
Is. To talk about the Oklahoma English teacher. It's second-degree rape. Let's listen. Go ahead.
For HuffPost Live, I'm Logan Tittle. A former Oklahoma high school teacher was arrested this week and charged with second-degree rape of a student. 25-year-old Kaylin Thompson resigned from Kellyville High School last month after allegations spread that she was sexually involved with an 18-year-old student for several months.
Well, you send your kids to small-town schools thinking they're going to get better education because it's more one-on-one. You don't expect to hear about a teacher messing with a student.
Thompson had been teaching English at the school for less than a year when she resigned. In Oklahoma, the age of consent is 16, but because Thompson was a teacher, it's illegal. Detectives also said the teen was flunking her class last semester, but his grades turned around dramatically.
What do you think?
The two began their alleged relationship.
He had motivation.
Because she has
Clearly her system works.
control over his grades and what he can and cannot do while in school. That perception is that she has control over him. And in the state of Oklahoma, if you're under the age of 20 years old and you're a student, it's a crime.
Officials say the student admitted they had sex on multiple occasions. Thompson turned herself into authorities Monday and is out on a $35,000 bond.
Now,
Kid's
he was 18.
dyslexic, but can eat pussy like a champ, like nobody's business.
Is that what it said on the report
Yeah,
card?
that's in his yearbook.
Yeah. Most likely to succeed. That was what they had put there for him. Now, what's sad is that he was over the age of consent. She's great looking, the 34-year-old teacher. But, I mean,
there's just
it
something
really
so
is.
hot about a teacher teaching you that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, look, there's some cases where they don't have a say in it, and all right, she's got a little meat on the bone, but it's all right. And if that's teacher, if I could build a time machine and go back, it's not to write do my mistakes over again. It would just mean to go to high school and get laid by my teachers.
There was an artist that passed away the other day. I'm reading this obituary column. The guy was like 80 years old, and they were talking about his art and everything else. And the art had a lot of sexual stuff in it or whatever. And the guy was very outspoken, and he was a German guy or whatever. And they said, "Gee, you write a lot about your sexual experiences and all." He says, "Oh yes," and I, and then there was a guy there doing a memory thing, and he was saying, "Well, we're doing a memory study. Do you have your memory of your first sexual experience?" Talking about how everyone will remember generally their first love, their first sexual experience. They'll never forget, even if they have Alzheimer's and they're about to die. And they were interviewing this artist before he died. And he says, yes. He says, I was about 8 years old and I had a nanny and I would be very, very upset. And she would come in and she would expose one of her breasts to me.
Oh, what a champ.
And I would rub her breasts.
Better calm them right down.
For comfort. Yes.
Yeah.
I would rub her breasts for comfort. He didn't say he sucked them.
Let me tell you something. If Christina would have whipped her tits out last Friday, it would have never ended that way. I would have stayed in studio. I would have heard your side of things.
They are really comforting.
Yeah.
I know.
Let's reenact
And the laughter would have been...
Let's reenact
Except Garrett wants to be the one that gets kicked out.
I think we should all take turns. It's almost like group therapy. You know, what if Garrett was in that position? How would he
Believe
react?
me, if the trust fall, these would get you.
This is how it works, though. I can remember back, I go, look, just show it to me or whatever, and I'll rub it and don't worry about it. And then, of course, you start to do something else, and the woman always says, oh, there you go. You got to go to the next step, don't you? Like that. So you would have been laughing, but you'd have been doing this. Like that. So, yeah, that's right.
Julie, get away from me.
Motorboat.
Yeah. By the way, the end of school pranks are starting. This is the best one ever, and you will never hear what the prank was. The news announcers will not tell you what it was, and the two guys they interview outside of the school laughing about the prank. Oh, good God. And then the parents will not be able to if that cough continues, you may be on your way again today also. Let's go to to me, the number one school prank of the year. Here we go. We have it?
No. Our computer's just turned off, man. Like we're waiting for broadcasting to get over here.
Hold on, I'm gonna crank this. If I crank this, will it turn back on?
How did we run the other? How did we run the other one?
It just happened.
The computer just happened.
They're cleaning the hamster wheel, and so the hamsters can't spin it, and we have no power.
So now the show is completely ruined.
Well, that seems a little negative.
Yeah, and I guess we can't even go to a break so I can bitch.
They all know the same face, but friends of Charity Johnson have each heard...
No, that's not it. That's not it. Stop it.
That's a good prank.
That's a good prank. Is that the one you can run? I'll have to reintroduce it.
No, it came
By the way, for those of you who are listening, yes, I do plan what's going on. I have sheets of paper. I have audio, a video that I want to run. I have material that I want to use.
It's very structured.
It's very structured. And I do know what this one... Are you able to run this one? I'll just do a reintroduction. That's all.
Yep. No, we could run. We got it. I got it.
I'm sorry.
You have the one I want?
Yes.
Okay. Are we going back to my favorite prank of all?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. Yep.
All right. So,
balloons filling the foyer of a school.
Could you stop it for a minute, please? Could you stop it for you? Back it up, please.
I'm sorry, I coughed. I'm trying something different instead of laughing, so I'm just coughing.
Drink some water or something, would you?
This is why I'm your number two.
Hold on one second. Here we go. So it's end of the year prank time, and they're doing all kind of stuff. One senior class filled the entire gymnasium. This is kind of cool, with like 1,000 cups with water in them. It doesn't even sound like a prank, but they did that. They've had people paint the school bus. They've done all this. They've actually had kids that wrecked the school and stuff. These were messages sent out to parents on school letterhead. Go ahead.
Balloons filling the foyer of a school from floor to ceiling. And one of our favorites, a room full of paper cups filled with water, marking the year of graduation. Senior pranks are one way that classes will make their mark. But some pranks do more than create a funny story to tell. In fact, one prank pulled in Prior Lake has some students laughing, but school officials and parents and even police, well, they're not laughing. 5 Eyewitness News reporter Tim Chernow has been looking into this today. These kids could get in trouble, Tim.
They could. That remains to be seen. Maybe they're a little bit nervous right now. With this prank, you have the adults, you have the kids. None of the adults we talked to think what was done was funny. Some of the kids do, but the adults...
All right, stop it right there. Stop it right there. Hold it. Stop it right there. Brandon, you know what it is, right? Right?
Prank?
The prank?
Yeah.
No, I don't think he does.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Garrett, you know the prank.
I do, yeah.
So they're never going to mention the prank. So, Christina, what do you think the prank was? They sent a note to...
You want to go around?
Yeah, let's go around They sent a note, and it was a health issue. It was a health
Pregnancy testing.
Pregnancy testing. Very good. Brandon, what do you think it was? It was a health issue.
Health issue?
Physical health issue.
Physical health issue. Diarrhea.
Check if you're diarrhea. The boys and girls have diarrhea. Let's go to... Is Mike in the back answering the phones?
Yes.
Yeah, Mike, you have any idea what it is? Too late. All right, let's move on. Forget it.
Oh, it took him that long to get here. At least let him try.
Oh, it did? All right.
Yeah.
All right. What's the question? The question is a prank. They sent notes out to the parents of students at the high school, and it was a health thing, but it was fake. It was fake. It was so we've had diarrhea guests, and we've had pregnancy test guests. What do you think it is?
AIDS.
Wow. AIDS. Do you have AIDS?
Welcome
Take an
to
AIDS
the show.
test.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Very good, Mike.
Fits right in.
And now let's go to the man who is paid or not paid for being funny. Yeah, let's go to Shuli.
Guys, you do an impression of Michael. AIDS.
Sterling. He's got AIDS.
That's what I was thinking.
My guess, Jay. It's an oldie but a goodie. Vagina moisture prank. They want to check
whether
the
you have
moisture
good
of the
vagina
ladies.
moisture.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's see if we even know it from this report. We may never know it.
I don't
Go
think
ahead.
it's funny at all.
Yeah.
So there's this fake letter.
Well, after a little investigation and a couple calls from parents, we found out that flyers were distributed in mailboxes around the community.
We're covering over the parts that aren't suitable for broadcast, but the letter generally announced a mandatory inspection.
There's going to be an inspection pretty much of
The content of the letter, if it was something about...
It's very inappropriate.
It was very graphic and very inappropriate.
Right. Inappropriate. It's inappropriate. Not even a little funny.
I don't think so.
I think it's funny, immature, and pretty awesome at the same time.
Okay, two sides.
Hold on. Funny, immature, and awesome.
Prank.
Yeah.
There it is.
You know, as a principal, I'm not a fan of them.
Funny, yeah, but it's kind of a little weird.
It's high schoolers. They got to understand the maturity level that's going on in this school.
Not mature and also wrong.
Putting it on school letterhead, I mean, that's wrong. Kids should know that. They know better.
Adults have their own sense of humor, too. You know, I think a good bit of them are probably thinking, you know, that's kind of funny, you know.
And the kids are talking about it a lot.
Everyone pretty much knows.
And someone knows who did it.
We have some leads we're following up on.
Some leads.
And maybe the people who think it's funny, someday they won't.
I mean, we'll grow up eventually.
We're all hoping for all of our kids. Savage Police had talked to them this afternoon. They say that they are actively investigating this, and there could be charges, maybe. At this point, they say the one thing that's for sure is that they're not dismissing this because it's a prank. They're not saying, those kids, forget about it. They're looking into it.
Well, kids thought it was funny, but what kind of charges could be possible?
Well, that's just it. That's what they have to investigate. Lots of things overlay here. Where
what is it?
Who did it? So that's what the charges will come out of that. But if you did it, listen, maybe in your driveway right now. You don't want to hear that.
Tim scaring children again tonight. Thanks, Tim.
What is going on?
They never say what it is.
It's a one.
Guys doing sound effects.
They never say what it is.
You might hear that.
What it was they sent out on Prior Lake High School letterhead, which is in Minnesota. They sent it and delivered it to mailboxes in Savage, Minnesota. That's the name of the town, Savage. It was female students were asked to remove any piercings they might have before the examinations of their vaginas.
Ooh, Shuli, did you win?
And
vagina moisture, I was the closest.
Yep. You were very close.
I was second closest.
And it threatens to keep them from graduating if their vaginas do not pass inspection.
Oh, Jay.
Well, good.
Yes, Ira. Yes,
Jay, sorry I'm late. I was at the vagina inspection.
You were in line for
That's
that?
right.
Yeah. Now, Ira, when did you graduate from high school?
I graduated years ago.
Yeah.
I forget
what was the name of this. What's the name of the school?
Taft High School.
Wow. Did you wear a cap and a gown?
Oh, I did not. I dropped out.
Oh, darling. I'm so sorry.
It's embarrassing.
Wow. Did you drop out because you had to work for your family to raise money for them?
No. Our diplomas were carried in stone.
Oh, you had stone diplomas
stone.
back. Carved in stone back then. I see. All right. Brother's got jokes. Before the sadness set in. Yes.
Jay, next week, it's Memorial Day weekend.
Can't wait to
What is that about? Memorial for what?
Memorial
for
for
what?
the vets. For the veterans.
All the people that take care of animals.
That is right.
It's a wonderful thing for them.
That is
and for
right.
people that fought in the wars and fought for our freedom and everything.
That is right, Jay. It's summertime. Summertime. I
got to.
Jay, I remember. Never mind. I forgot.
Anyway,
this show is leading in the right direction.
Okay, good.
Down.
I forgot what I was going to say. That I remember once I had a veteran on and he was talking to me and he was telling me how bad it was over in Iraq or Afghanistan, and it's an all volunteer army. And I said to the guy, I said, look, could I ask you not to try to die for my freedom? And I got in real trouble. I mean, this was here at Sirius.
This stance is why my dad doesn't listen to the show anymore.
That's right.
That's right. You pissed him off. Yeah.
I mean, I have to tell you something. If my kids came into me and said, hey, they're sending troops over to Afghanistan or whatever, I would go, there's nothing over there for us. Nothing. And there wasn't. And there isn't. There wasn't anything when, Saddam Hussein blew up Kuwait. Let him have it. Who gives a shit? Those are just as bad. Those people are just as bad as he was. Weird. So I said, now look, if they're coming over the hill, I'm not going to fight, but I'm going to send my boys to fight. Sure, I will.
Yeah.
I would do that if they really attack something that means something to us, like Montreal. If they attack Montreal or whatever. But no, I refuse to think that my freedom is affected by 9,000 miles. I think the ability to pay $4.41 for fuel is affected. That I believe. And that's really what the war was. So they should have just said that. Who would like to fight to keep gas prices below $6? And then that's at least a decision. But now Memorial Day, you think back to World War II always. Or you can think back to the Korean War. But sadly, starting in Vietnam, what the fuck have we been doing? It's just weird, right? It's just odd. But, and everybody comes back fucked up. If I had, let's say it's swimming.
Well, they come back fucked up because there's not exactly an outlet for them when they get back here. There's nothing for them. There's nobody there that can say, hey, we'll help you get through this. Nothing. No, everybody throws them aside like they fucking did nothing. And it's ridiculous that, a day like Memorial Day, people are out like fucking jet skiing and getting drunk, and it's like,
yeah.
There's people limbless because of this, because of your, like, just acknowledge that for one fucking minute.
If I went swimming, which I used to do all the time, and I used to have terrible ear infections, so I'd come back from swimming and my ear would be infected, I stopped swimming. So it's like, if you read about people that go to war and they come back and they're all blown up and it's horrible, it's like, well, then you don't do that. I don't think we gain anything. It's the oddest thing. And when you say this, you're a chicken shit or you're not patriotic or whatever. It is really odd to me. It is. And I think it's odd to a majority of Americans. But do you know if somebody said, hey, you know what? We're really not going to have this big army anymore. The next battle that we're facing, get ready, is China. They really think we're going to be shooting at them. They've got battleships, everything. I mean, I don't know what I think of that. I mean, you know what they're doing now? The Japanese and the Chinese are shooting water hoses at each other. Have you seen this one?
Yeah, it's like an episode of Whale Wars.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. If they said, let's make all wars with water cannons, I would say, okay, all right, let's do water cannons. Worst that can happen is you're blown off the deck, right?
No, and then get water in your ear, and that's really uncomfortable for a long time.
That would hurt me. I couldn't fight that fight.
I don't like that. That's why I don't jump into pools or play
If I was young enough and they drafted me, I'd love to go, but I get terrible.
You'd be a real bummer in a bukkake video,
I hate roughhousing. I hate it.
Yeah, I would say
near the pool and ocean.
I'd go to war, but you're going to use water cannons? Yeah, they may go right in my ear.
Jay,
go right directly in my. Yes, Ira. What is?
Jay, rumor has it that Christina is kicking off a new holiday, Memory Day. All right,
there we go.
It's a 2-day celebration.
It's a 2-day celebration.
In a few moments,
maybe a 5-day celebration. Who knows?
Well, they're not that.
In a few moments, we're going to have a very strange guy on. His name is Justin Jedlicka. And Justin has had, how many plastic surgeries, Christina?
149 plastic surgeries.
Was he in a fire?
No.
No.
Why?
You're kidding. You don't know, Shuli?
I don't know. I don't prepare for this show.
$80,000 he has spent. Now, he was unhappy with his normal appearance starting at 17.
Is he trying to look like a celebrity?
He is.
Oh,
he is. And in a few moments, we will have Justin Jedlicka.
He's trying to look like Sulu? Who looks like George Takei?
The human Ken doll.
Oh. Well, that's awful.
The human Ken doll. And if you want to look at him, go to justinjedlicka.com. He's actually met the woman, Christina, who was the human Barbie doll, correct?
Yeah. Do you know what she does to her body with those corsets and things so that she can keep the and the extensive workouts? She posts videos on her YouTube or Vine or Instagram, whatever, all day long, and it's just her working out, and then she'll just like creepily look into the camera with her big Barbie eyes. And
Maybe you should have bringing her up to him.
Is he
He's
like
a little mad at her?
Oh yeah.
Ken and Barbie are finally going to break up? Is that what you're telling me?
No. She's from overseas,
no,
right?
I know.
She's from Russia or something?
Who has custody of the Barbie Corvette is what I want to know.
We don't know.
I think he lives in the Malibu Dream House.
Is he accurate as Ken? Did he chop his cock and balls off?
That's what I wanted to know, too, yeah.
Well, you go online right now to justinjedlicka.com and you'll see. Stay where you are in a few moments. The human Ken doll. Stay where you are.
Your name is Jay Thomas.
Jay Thomas.
Howard 101.
George of Houston, Texas. Thanks for calling the Jay Thomas Show. Hello, George.
Hey, I would just wanted to call and agree with you that there's really no reason for us to be getting involved in wars that are 9,000 miles off our shore. In fact, there was a Marine Corps general who wrote a book way back in the 1930s that said war is a racket, and he said that we shouldn't fight any wars that are more than 500 miles off our coast.
Do you realize that if they try to do that, though, in Congress or in the Senate, do you realize that whoever tried to do it would be called a non-patriot? I mean, it would be knee-jerk. It would no doubt knee-jerk, but we would save. But now the other thing is that we're getting ready to fight the Red Chinese. I mean, I'm not kidding you. Maybe in some of our lifetimes we might have to fight them. It's weird. Then I've always said, then fuck them. We won't buy any more shitty tennis shoes and beads if they do that. So
I hope that doesn't happen, because we did fight them in the Korean War when they spilled over the border. And what the Chinese do is they send their men over in human wave attacks, and they
do.
Keep sending them over until you run out of ammunition. So you don't ever want to fight the Chinese unless you absolutely have to, because it gets messy.
They're like ants, aren't they, those Chinese?
I wouldn't say that. I respect their philosophy, but I think that they've caused a lot of destruction to our economy in the last 25 years, and the American politicians have helped them.
What do you think about my idea of having nothing but water cannon wars? You like that? Giant kind of soakers, super soakers.
I like that idea, because then when it's all over, you could have a beer afterwards with the enemy.
Yes. Or paintball. I like the paintball where you shoot the guy. Yeah, you're dead. You're dead.
Well, that's
but I guarantee you somebody would come back with post-traumatic paintball stress, Garrett. I guarantee you. You know, that paintball hit me on the chin. You know that, right? That paintball was right on my chin. Thank you, George, very much. Thank you.
Thanks
yes,
a lot, Jay.
what is it?
And keep up the good work.
What?
I appreciate it.
Yeah, we will. We'll continue. Yes, go ahead. What is it?
What is it good for?
Wow.
Try it again, Larry.
Man.
Absolutely. What?
War. What is it good for?
Right.
You don't know the answer?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh, okay.
Say it again.
War.
Absolutely nothing.
What is it good for?
All right, Joe of Massachusetts. Yes, Joe, go ahead.
Hi, Joe.
What happens, Joe? By the way, he doesn't want to be called the human Ken doll. I just found that out. We've done more research. Justin Jellica. They will be here with us. Joe of Massachusetts. What happens when we finally do go to war with the Chinese? What happens?
We should do it now. Well, they're not going
We should do it now. You mean a preventive strike right now?
Yeah, we should just take them on now.
All right.
Why not?
They're not listening, are they?
No.
They can't,
you know what's funny, Joe? We could never beat them. That guy's right that just called. We'll never beat them. They just wave after wave after wave. It's like spraying ants. It'd be bad. Bad.
Go in your fridge now. Go in your fridge right now. Tell me how many packets of duck sauce is in there, right?
Yep, that's exactly right.
We're surrounded, dude. We're surrounded.
You keep it in the fridge.
But they'd all be here.
You know what is funny? Then we're going to move on. These the waters have oil in them out there. You know, there's the Sea of China, the Sea of Japan. Taiwan thinks they own some of it. The Philippines are battling. Vietnam wants some of the oil. Isn't it funny? They should all just get together and like share it. God forbid. Yeah. But they'll never do it. They'll never do it. The Chinese say they own all of that oil under there. All of that oil.
One love.
Yeah,
one life.
You were in the Air Force?
In Germany. We used to have this prostitute that lived in an RV right outside base.
You had a prostitute in an RV right outside of the base. Wow.
Yes. They called her Mortuary Mary.
Any relation to Gummy Mary?
Probably. She had,
that was my gal. Yeah. Why did they call her Mortuary? Some people caught things from her and died?
She was old. She had gray hair.
Oh.
I was thinking she just laid there.
How many times did you go to her, Joe? How many times?
Never.
Never.
I only went to a hooker once. She was a Spanish chick with big tits.
Really?
What did they cost back then?
Well, it cost
how much?
$20.
$20. All right.
40.
Joe, you sound so excited. I'm gonna let you get back to whatever you weren't doing. All right. Thank you, Joe, very much. Let's go to Justin Jedlicka. Go to justinjedlicka.com. You know what's funny? There's a famous cowboy store in Santa Barbara, California called Jedlicka's. Are you related to those people, Justin, by any chance?
No, sorry to say I'm not.
Yeah, they make all of the saddles and the ropes and a lot of gay guys hang around the place, but I like to go in there every now and again and rope a gay guy.
Do they make implants?
No, they don't. Now, Justin, here you are, a guy, like born in 1980. You look like you were a good-looking guy to begin with. What made you want to undergo 100 and almost 50 surgeries and spend close to $200,000 in changing your appearance? Tell us.
It's been a progression over time. I think, the first surgery I looked into when I was 17 and proceeded with it when I was 18 years old, and that was my nose. And that was to fix something that I thought of as a defect, I guess. And after that point, the modifications kind of became more of a want and definitely not a need in my life. And as it went farther and farther, it sort of became fun for me to sort of think of it like many people do tattoos or piercings, and it was a way for me to be creative and artistic and I guess modify myself to a tune where sort of the aesthetic that I want to portray wasn't necessarily that of what Western culture dictates as beautiful. So it became more like sculptural for me, and I started to do plastic surgery more as an art form and one that gave me a lot of confidence and self-esteem, where I was able to sort of be my own artist and wear my canvas 24/7, and that became something really appealing for me.
Now, what about the doctors? Did a doctor ever say, "You're nuts, and I'm not going to operate on you anymore"? Did you ever have that happen?
No, actually never happened.
Really? I have plastic surgeon friends that say, I would never overdo surgery on someone. I'll ask them about certain people that, like poor Meg Ryan.
Well, your surgeon friends must be loaded.
That I look over.
No, but you know what? They don't want to do something that then people say, well, Dr. Johnson did that surgery, because what you're asking for, many people look at and would say is grotesque. That you've hurt your body. You say it's art, but I look at it and I feel sorry for you in a way.
Oh, well, don't feel sorry for me. I've done well by myself, and the only thing that really has come out of this, I think, as far as there hasn't been a negative, I guess. There's been so many points for me that have been a positive that's come from me from my surgeries and the confidence, and the judgment from people is something that really doesn't affect me. I mean, I've done my surgeries for myself, and at its core, it's been something that's fun for me, and everyone around me really sort of realizes that it's my calling and it's my passion, and to be able to sort of envelop everything in my life with it now, I never assumed that that's where all of this would go, but to be able to end up being a television personality, we're working towards a reality show, and I'm working on a book, and we're becoming a beauty brand of sorts, and that's really been very exciting for me. And if I hadn't really pursued my passion and followed what it is I love to do, which is sculptural with these implants and being a pioneer with the male side of plastic surgery, then I wouldn't be in the position where I am today. And I understand it's a controversial topic, but I also think it's one that should be explored by people, and it can offer a really great positive benefit for others the way it did me.
Doctor, what's it like being a human Kindle? Does it bother you when people start reading you?
When people stop what? I'm sorry?
Reading you.
A human Kindle.
Kendall, not Kendall.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. You idiot. Hold on a second. So wait a second. You really don't like being called a human Kindle because you say you're copying anime, right? It's a Japanese art.
Mr. Roboto, can you read me? Heaven is for real.
All right, get rid of him, please.
The title being the human Ken doll. I mean, it's cute and it's catchy, and I understand the Ken doll's plastic, and it's sort of a young ideal male. So, I mean, that's cool. I think in a way it does definitely sort of sound a little more superficial as far as the things that I've gone into and sort of to get to where I am today and be able to structure my body the way I have. It definitely takes a lot of thought and education to the point of what the anatomy can do and what the products can lend us to be able to achieve. So I think it's a cool title. I just don't know that it wasn't necessarily like I walked into the plastic surgeon's office with a Ken doll in my hand. But if other people think I look like a Ken doll, then that's just an added benefit on the ice as the icing on the cake. But it wasn't an initial goal for me, I guess I'll put it that way.
Were you single when all this started? All this surgery stuff started? Did it affect any relationships? Did you end up breaking up with anybody because of this?
I was single when I started. I mean, I had my first nose job at 18, and I guess I've had 3 long-term relationships in my life, and nobody's really had an issue with it. Once I've explained to them, and they've sort of seen that it's not really a dissatisfaction with my body that lends me to go back to have plastic surgery, that it's really coming more from a creative standpoint and something that I find fun, and it's more like a hobby for me.
We have a guy that works here with us that we all think really needs plastic surgery in the worst way. I don't want to say his last name, but his name is Al. And everyone discusses it. We sit around and we go, his head is odd. His body is odd. He needs major plastic surgery. But he doesn't have it. He won't have it. He says it's financial.
He's full size, but he's got like a midget frame, kind of. Like he's got a big head and a tiny body.
Yeah, huge head and
really
a tiny
sweet
body.
guy.
And like you're waiting for him to tip over at some point.
So he shouldn't be doing that. He shouldn't be doing it if it's just you guys that have an issue with it. I mean, it's a really personal...
We don't like looking at him the way he is, okay, Justin? Yeah. It's like he's not pleasing to look at.
It offends
me. And so we look at him... And it offends all of us.
Yeah.
And we walk away from him and we all go like this, oh boy, somebody get him a surgeon. We're thinking of doing a Kickstarter plastic surgery
Being
thing.
memorable is more important than being pretty to everybody else.
Oh, he's memorable. He's memorable. Yeah.
I have a distinctive look, and some people may like it and other people don't. At the end of the
We'd like him to look more like SpongeBob. SpongeBob.
Justin, do you know of the boy named Toby Sheldon that paid $100,000 to look like Justin Bieber?
Yeah, I do know Toby. We've done a couple television shows together and a few charity events together. We're friendly, yes.
So in his case, it's not an art form, right? He wanted to look like somebody specific?
I mean, I don't want to speak for him, but basically, in the shows that I've been, he's told me that he brought in pictures just like anybody would if you're going to go have an expensive haircut and have your hair tracked out and have all your highlights put in, and you're going to spend $500 or $600 to have your hair done. A lot of people bring in examples of what they'd like, their hairstyle to look if they're making a big investment in that. And he said that that was one of the pictures of his icons that he brought as far as having a youthful appearance and a youthful hairline.
Okay.
And so, I don't know that he necessarily set out to particularly look like Justin Bieber, but and I don't even know that he says he looks like Justin Bieber now, but I think it was an inspiration piece for him to sort of use to try to help his doctor in sort of understanding some of the points of the face that he sort of had an attraction towards.
I see.
So I don't think that his came from wanting to be an art form, though. I don't think he really thinks about it in the same way as being sculptural like I do.
Would you ever hang yourself on a wall at an art museum?
You are art at the end of the day.
Well, there is a woman that, there's Cindy Sherman, who takes photos of herself, but actually will sometimes, and she's very famous, and she'll lay naked or she'll sit in a chair and let people yell at her or talk to her or whatever at these art exhibits. I don't know if it's Cindy Sherman, the woman that does the photographs, but there's other artists that do. We've actually had a woman on that her art project was to give birth on stage in Brooklyn. So they are human art pieces.
The woman that knits out of her vagina during her period.
We've had
every woman.
Knits out of her vagina.
Oh, knits. I think it said omits.
Hey, surgery guy. I saw a guy.
I know
on
that
the
I'm gay, but how do you knit out of your vagina?
Yeah, how do you knit out of your
You
vagina?
shove the yarn up there, and then you gradually you sit there with your legs spread.
Oh,
and
the blood is on the yarn.
Yeah, but it's not consistently through because you only get your period for 5 to 7 days.
Well, that's what makes it art, and it isn't always.
Hey, surgery guy.
Hold on a second. Let's go to Ira the Weatherman for a moment. JustinJedlicka.com. People call him the human Ken doll, but actually he is an entrepreneur, and even though he's had 150 surgeries, what he really is, he's a piece of art. Go ahead, Ira.
Hey, surgery guy. I saw a guy on the street today who looked like a real-life Ken Griffey Jr.
Ken Griffey Jr. No, that's another.
Just letting you know.
All right, just a human Ken Griffey Jr. Justin Jedlicka.
Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah, it's funny. Now look.
I can't believe you paid
What?
I can't believe. I can't believe you paid all that money to look like a Bobo from Double Dragon.
All right, get rid of him. All right,
Get rid of
send him
him.
for coffee.
Sit in the
You're
back.
going. Justin, here we go. Justin, you have. I want to know. Get rid of him. I want to know what hurt the most. You've had rhinoplasty. How much did that hurt when you fixed your nose?
Nah, that doesn't hurt. I mean, it's a little uncomfortable, but there's no pain.
Okay.
Well,
Chest
you probably
implants.
have a high tolerance for pain.
Perhaps. Chest
Not
implants.
really now, but yeah, chest implants. It was a little bit painful. It was my first muscle implant that I had, but nothing too bad. It's like 10 days that you're kind of sort of just have to baby yourself, but beyond that, it wasn't too bad.
Shoulder implants.
That was a little painful in the beginning. There's 3 separate pieces on each shoulder, so that was 6 implants that we put in at one time, and 2 of them are under the muscle. So it was a bit painful the first time around, but I've had 4 surgeries on it. The 3 ones after that were a piece of cake.
What do they use? They use silicone bags for the implants?
No. My implants that I use are different. They're an actual solid rubber poor. So the only thing I could sort of equate them to is if you've ever, I know this is a stretch for you, but if you've ever touched a dildo and felt the malleability of it,
oh yeah,
it sort of feels like that.
Oh yeah, we've all done that.
No, we're all there.
I had one of those, believe it or not, implanted in my ass, but only for 30 seconds.
Let me tell you something. If touching,
I had to have it pulled out, and then I had to have it put back in, and pulled out and put back in. It was a crazy night.
Not just the tip
if touching dildos was CPR, we're all certified here. Just so you know.
And then the guy that was doing it to me kept saying it was for stool samples, and that he's the best they'd ever seen. Now, what about bicep implants? That sounds painful to me.
No, it wasn't too much. And I have my biceps done 3 times now. So they were under the fascia, and then 2 surgeries under the muscle now.
God,
is there a part of your body that you did not have operated?
Oh, that's a funny question. Well, right now I haven't done my lats. That's the next thing I'm working on, and I haven't done my abs.
Your latissimus dorsi. You haven't done the latissimus dorsi.
But do you work out to maintain?
I don't actually go to the gym. I haven't done
Oh,
it
you
for 5.5 years right now. But I mean, I have a good genes and a good metabolism. I was born with that, so I can't have any other sort of claim to fame other than the fact that, I really was born being very, very lean and thin. And so, it lends for a good body to be able to put implants in because you see all that definition.
Right.
Yeah, but what happened?
Was Shatner a dick in real life?
No, his name isn't Spock.
What
This
happens,
is a human
though,
Kindle.
if, let's say you're walking down the street and somebody is moving and they're struggling with a box and they think that you're going to be able to help them because you got these big, huge muscles, but you don't have the strength?
What kind of scenario is this?
I don't know.
Call that big, strong guy over there.
Well, yeah, I would see a guy with muscles and be like, this guy has huge muscles. Can you help me?
All right, you know what?
Help,
Get her
a
off
car
the mic.
has
She's a
fallen on
fucking
my
idiot.
I don't know. I can't
Yeah, you're an
imagine
idiot.
having
First of
the
all,
muscles
you don't
but
have
not the
big
strength.
muscles. You have nice muscles. Now, here's the other thing. You've also had cheek augmentation. Did you have the fat put in there? Is that what you had done? Hello?
I did have a fat transfer towards the front of my cheek, but mostly it's been silicone injections.
Okay. All right. But so now, what is a subpectoral implant? What is that?
It means that they go into your muscle, they fillet a pocket inside the muscle, and then they put the implant inside the muscle and suture it up. So it's actually covered all the way around. Sort of like when you stuff a chicken breast. You cut a hole in the center, open it up with your finger, and then
there goes my dinner.
Oh, boy.
Inside.
Wow. Here now. Wait. Now these have. I mean, the most painful thing to me when I injure it are my legs, and you have had a thigh implant. That
Not
seems
yet.
like that.
Not yet. I'm working on it. That's part of my 5-year plan. So the 5-year plan is lats, which are the wings on your back, the abs, the calves, and then the quads. It's on the roster of things, but it hasn't been done on me yet.
Justin, the prices for these things are through the roof. What do you do for income? Like, what how do you make money?
Well,
I know what you do. Wait a minute. You charge thousands of dollars for guys that want to fuck kin.
No, I'm married now. I can't do any of that anymore.
Oh, you can't do that?
No.
Does your husband look like Richie Rich?
No, actually.
No.
But
what do you? I mean, you must make money when you go to parties, or they hire you for money to.
Well, we
to
do a
look
lot.
alike.
Right now we're doing a lot with the television stints. When we do a lot with, obviously, with the papers, Us Weekly, The Sun, things like that. And additionally, now I'm doing a plastic surgery referral and consultation service, where I've had so many people write in and ask, who is your favorite doctor for noses? Who's your favorite doctor for breasts? Who's your favorite doctor for lipo? And because of my experience, sort of just in the whole plastic surgery genre, with knowing all the nurses and having a lot of the referrals, we've just been able to sort of say, hey, I'll use my knowledge to help other people and point them in the direction of specialists. And it's been pretty fun, and obviously we do make a little bit of money on it, but it's really great for me to be able to help other people and, have learn from my mistakes and not have to have them go through that same sort of heartache and extra
Give us a
recovery time.
mistake. Give us a mistake.
Well, I think, first of all, I don't want to say it was a mistake, but it's a stepping stone. My nose, I've had 5 nose jobs now. And so, I never realized that there were some people that actually specialize just in doing noses.
After 5, is there anything left? Like, I don't know.
Like Michael Jackson, they say his nose didn't exist anymore because
he had a silicone prosthesis in his tip, so that's what started to wear through in the tip. I asked for one of those. I couldn't find anybody to put one in. So I have a cartilage graft from my ear and my nose now. And then I have Gore-Tex implant along the bridge of my nose.
What is that, Gore-Tex?
Gore-Tex.
What about the recovery time?
Wait a minute. You've got a husband. You mean you come home bruised and operated on, and this person that you're married to, he has to take care of you through all. I mean, really? Does he look? Wait a minute. Does he look like Nurse Jackie?
Ooh.
No, but normally what I do, it's more like a big party. I stage recovery houses every year that I have a surgery. So I try to keep it to once a year. We rent like these McMansions out in L.A., 4,000 or 5,000 square feet with a pool. I fly my mom, my sister, my family, and our friends all come out. Last time I think we had 30, 35 people come out over the course of 3 weeks that we rented a home. And we really throw like a big party, and it's more of a celebration, and that definitely helps with sort of, I think, the power of positive thinking and helping your body sort of heal a lot.
Justin,
it's really not drudgery. It's fun.
Justin, when you go pick up family and friends at the airport, do you have to hold up a sign saying, "Hey, it's Justin"? Like, because you've had so many surgeries.
Yeah, I was wondering, how does your mom feel about it? Does she
got
it ever
the wrong
make her
car.
sad?
She got a different guy's car. She thought it was Justin.
Does it ever make her sad that the little boy that she made wants to change so drastically?
I think my mother in the beginning didn't quite understand, but over the years, she's insanely proud of me. At this point, she brags about me probably more than any of my other siblings. And I think she realizes that it's a passion for me, and I think just like any parent that would have their kids go out and say, "Hey, I want to go out and surf the tsunamis, and I want to go."
I would punch my kid in the head if he wants to surf a tsunami.
And there are people who want to climb Mount Everest, and they want to do these crazy marathons, or they're like heavy-duty weightlifters, and they're pushing their body to all sorts of extremes, or you want to talk about extreme sports. There are people that just have to realize that that's what fulfills that individual, and although it's scary for the rest of us to sort of see that, and we might not want to partake, it's something that validates that person and makes them feel special and gives them a goal and a purpose. So I think that's the same thing that you'd have to consider with what I'm doing.
In the plastic surgery community, do you know of anyone who's trying to become a real-life Stretch Armstrong? Because that would be my thing. I would do that.
I don't, sorry.
I guess I was.
Let's go to Mark in Miami. Mark, we've been talking to Justin Jedlicka. They call him the Human Ken doll. He himself is more of an anime. He's had 150 plastic surgeries, spent close to $200,000. Mark, go ahead. Mark in Miami.
So incredibly sad. And let me just say this. I say this out of...
Well, you said incredibly sad?
It is. Let me explain what's going on here. We can laugh all we want. It's a lot of fun, but the root of it, you've got someone, and I say this out of love, who is not satisfied with himself. So what he's doing is
absolutely not the truth.
Outside. No, but hear me out, and then you can respond. It's fine. He's very concerned, like most human beings, with what people think of him. Instead of finding the love from the inside, it's coming from the outside in, and he's never satisfied, so it goes on and on.
Now, wait a minute. Are you some sort of psychologist? Are you a psychologist of some sort?
I'm not.
Listen,
then, God, I feel like getting you, filleting your chest, and putting in a chest augmentation right now. How about if I get my hands on you, I put a subpectoral implant?
How dare you? How dare you? How dare you call in on Justin's time and bring up Joan Rivers, which has nothing to do with Justin?
How dare you?
Get
rid of him. Get rid of him. See you later. The happiest, jolliest man I've ever talked to.
Justin, we sincerely apologize for that.
Now, Justin,
it's not the first time.
I can tell you're not the Ken doll. You're not because I see your genitals poking out of your shorts in one of these pictures. That's got to be the number one thing people say to you. You're going to have your dick cut off. You're never going to do that.
I get that question asked a lot, and while I do know people who go through that transformation, men and women both, who have their erotic and erogenous zones removed, nipples, belly buttons, all of that, it's definitely not in the cards for me. No.
Yeah, I would add
more.
You
should keep it.
I'd rather be
let's go
hentai porn and kind of have it be like 15 inches.
I can't wait to see Justin at like 60, 70, 80 years old.
I'm kind of excited too. I think I might look a little bit like Alien-esque.
I can't wait.
It's pretty cool.
Wow.
It's like an
Well, you know
interesting-
what's great about it? If you droop, they can remove stuff and redo it. Now, that's the truth.
Dude, you're going to be a hot 60-year-old looking like Prometheus.
I just
What's
go
that?
bigger to fill up the skin. So I'll just
Yeah.
look like it's like a Ken doll on steroids.
There you go. Right. Let's go to Chris, who is in York, Pennsylvania. Yes, Chris, we're talking to Justin Jedlicka, who may or may not be the human Ken doll, and a reality show, I'm sure, is
York's a good
Go
town.
ahead.
Yes, hello,
Go
everyone.
ahead.
Hi, Justin. How you doing? My question is to you, and in all sincerity, have you ever been out at a restaurant or a bar and sitting still and someone has walked past and you turn your head and actually scared them? And I'm being dead serious with that. I mean, I've looked at pictures of you, and if you're sitting still, you would obviously look like a mannequin.
This guy brings up a good point. I've had ugly strippers scare me like that at a strip club where they come up behind you and ask for a dance.
Justin, have you ever frightened anybody? Have you ever frightened a child or a grown
If
up?
people look over and they take a double take, in my brain, it's just because I'm extra pretty.
Right.
I don't really.
Chris, he's extra pretty, Chris.
To that negative side. I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky guy, so it takes a
sound
lot for me
happy-go-lucky.
to actually think the worst of people, and I would assume that they're looking because, I mean, I always got that comment even before I ever had surgery that I was a pretty boy. I never got handsome, and that was just always how I fit.
But that's the right attitude to have in life.
I guess that's how Ira got his way through life, too, is just being a pretty boy.
It's the right attitude in life. You are the prettiest one in the room until you have shit on you.
Let's go to Jeff of New Jersey. Jeff, why do you think Justin Jedlicka, in your professional mind, why do you think he's doing all these surgeries? Do you have an idea why you think it is?
Well, to be honest, first of all, big fan of you guys. Shuli as well. I like you all, but
all right, we don't need all of that. Just answer the fucking question.
Always start with Jay. That's the
Jesus Christ! I don't need to hear how you like everybody on the fucking show.
I apologize, Jay. But Justin, I got to ask.
That's like every time you meet a good-looking woman. Oh, you're so fucking beautiful. First thing I say to him, one of your eyes is a little bit crooked. That's the first thing I say.
Yeah, wonky-eyed bitch.
Yeah. I'd meet Justin. I'd go, hey, Justin, I think you look like Ken's brother, actually.
Whoa.
You look like Yamamoto. You look like Ken Yamamoto to me, my friend. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jeff of New Jersey. Yeah.
All right, so Justin, I just got to ask. I mean, at a certain point, are you doing this just to score more pain meds, or I mean, does the doctor even prescribe it? Like, what's
Absolutely not. No. There's no.
Are you hopped up right now, Justin? Are you all hopped up?
Are you on goofballs? Are you hopped up on goofballs?
No, Dr. Drew asked me that same question. Absolutely not. Not any interest.
Dr. Drew. Thank you, Jeff. What did Dr. Drew say to you about
I have a lot of fun with him. I have to say he's a little flirty for a straight married man, but he's very, very attractive, very smart.
Yeah. Now, but what did he say your psychological problem was?
He didn't. He said, well, actually, to the contrary of what the psychologist on the show who had never met me before said. I mean, he said it didn't sound like it was body dysmorphic disorder, which is consistently, of course, what I have to be combative about in the press.
That's what Al has.
Right.
It stems from OCD, and I'm not sitting here being an unhappy person. I mean, to the contrary, I'm sitting here saying I'm happy with how everything turned out, and the truth is, with surgery, I mean, it's not about pleasing everybody else and whether everybody else in society wants to sit here and say it looks good. It's about, do I think it looks good? And it's great to use as a tool, I think, for individuals to be able to sort of build that confidence in themselves. And as long as the vision that you see is the one that you like, it really doesn't matter if other people enjoy it or not.
All right. Justin Jedlicka, I believe we've covered it. They call him the Human Ken Doll. Go to justinjedlicka.com. You'll see it all. And good luck with the reality show and the whole thing. You sound like a very happy person. Thank you, Justin.
Thanks so much. I appreciate your time. Have a great afternoon.
All right.
Jay.
Well, there you go. Yes, what is it?
I dated a girl who looked like Howdy Doody once. True story.
Yeah, he laughed.
It's Howdy Doody time. It's Howdy Doody time.
All right, hold on a minute.
Bob Smith and
this is going to be
Howdy
much like Three Girls, One Cup. Shut up. Two Girls, One Cup. Ira, have you seen a picture of Justin Jedlicka? Have you looked at a picture?
Never.
All right. Could you
it's like
show
the Holocaust.
him?
Never.
I want to have.
I saw his picture.
Go ahead. Show it to him. Show it to him. The picture of Justin
That's
Jetlicker,
what it
who
looks
looks like
today.
Today?
What do you think? What do you think?
Well,
What do you think?
no good. No good, Jay.
No good.
What don't you like about that? What's wrong with it?
Yeah, I wouldn't have anybody date him.
Not even Christina?
No, nobody.
What don't you like about his look?
I like the other look. This look.
Yeah, before he started changing everything?
Yes.
Who do you like better,
he
him
was
or
a
Al?
handsome kid, right? He was a
Who do I like, him or Al?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I looked at Al's head.
Go ahead.
And let me tell you this.
Sure.
He has a wonderful head.
It's a little
He
large, but it's a little
He
large.
shouldn't even have any surgery on his head. His head is nice.
Al, listen, Al.
You know what? Your job is now secure. Many of you don't even know who Al is. It's a guy in management. We shouldn't have said this. We don't know what he's up to. By the way, this comes from Matthew to jthomasshow@gmail. You said that if there was good cause, you would believe, Jay, that you would send your sons to fight. I'm just curious. Would you make JT give him up first just out of habit? Yes. That's what I would do. I would send the illegitimate one first. All right. Stay where you are. We're not done yet.
We're going to stay. Jay Thomas.
Would you mind repeating that, Jay? This is the Jay Thomas Show. Out 101.
La, 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 la.
All right. There you go.
La, 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 so the la, la, la song. Hey.
All right. Let's go to Dan, who's in New York. Hello, Dan. It's
How
Jay
you
Thomas.
doing, Dan? Is your name Dandy Dan Daniels?
All right, hold on a minute. Hold it 1 second. Ira, you've talked enough.
How you doing?
You were part of the... 1 second, Dan. You were part of the interview. It's enough already.
All right. I'll turn the microphone out.
Yes, I want you to stop talking. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah. No, you know what? Don't do all that. Get his own fucking show if he wants a show to talk all the time.
He seems
all right.
to push it out
I've already
into the
straightened
street.
Shuli's ass out. Now I'm going to straighten his ass out. I'm going to take control. You hear that, Al? I'm going to take control of this show. The way that they are. I've had calls from management. I've had calls from the programming department. They want me to take more control, and I'm going to do it. Dan, go ahead.
Should I leave?
We got control.
Get him off the microphone.
Oh, my
Hold
God.
on a second, Dan.
I'm so afraid.
Get back. You talk on the mic again, I'm going to throw your ass out. You'll think
talking
it's
to
a
me or
friggin'
him?
Jewish holiday 24 hours a day after I'm through with you. Shut him up.
I know you're.
What is it, Dan?
How you doing, Jay?
I'm good, Dan. You've said that 5 times. I'm doing fine. Go ahead, Dan. Yes, go ahead. Go ahed.
I would like a story about hunting camp. I know you're a great storyteller.
You want a hunting camp? I don't have a hunting camp.
What, are you going to bed?
You called up to have me tell a hunting camp
Totally
story? You have a hunting. You have a hunting camp story.
It's the Jay Thomas Story Hour. Give us a call.
All right,
What
it's
story
time
would you
now
like
for
to
a-
hear?
You know what?
Jay, I'd love to hear Hansel and Gretel. Could you tell that one? That's a great story.
Wait a second. I think in the middle of this hunting camp story, I'm going to wish Ira were talking.
Yeah.
All right? That's what I think. All right, go ahead, Dan of New York. No, Ira, no talking. Let's go, Dan of New York. Go ahead.
Well, I know you're a great storyteller.
All right, just tell us the story, please. I don't want to be angry with anybody anymore. Please tell us the story. Go ahead.
He wants you to tell a story.
I want you to tell me.
That's my whole point. He's creepy.
I don't have a hunting camp story.
Make one up. Make one up. The guy's got his dick in his hand. He needs a hunting story.
Make it up.
Well, the only hunting camp story I have is when my dad had given me a shotgun when I was 16.
Tell me the one about the rabbits, Jay.
No. My dad gave me a 20-gauge pump shotgun for Christmas, my 16th year, and he took me hunting at this nice hunting camp with my uncle, and we go, and there was a guy there, like a guy with a dog, and we go into the thing, and the ducks are going to come freezing cold, and we'd practice with the skeet and all that stuff. And so the guy says, now look, when the birds come, and it's really weird if you've never been hunting, when the animal comes, it is very weird. You're about to open fire on a living thing. and you feel the anticipation almost as if it were a war. And it is really, it's odd. It's very odd. Even if they're, birds or ducks or whatever, you're about to end the life of something. So the guy says, now, your dad is on the left side of the blind, and we're in this swamp, and you're in the right side of the blind, and you can only shoot up to the middle of the blind, and then when the bird crosses the middle, it'll be the other guy's shot.
You call that a hunting story?
Yes, I'm calling it. So I'm in the blind, my dad's to my left, and here come the ducks. And I am mesmerized by the ducks, and I move the gun from right to left, ignoring the fact that I'm supposed to stop in the middle and let my dad track them from there. I don't stop until the barrel of the gun strikes my father in the side of his head. The gun goes like, I swear to God, just like this. It hits the side of his head, and I pull the trigger. And my dad said, son of a bitch, so many times in a row. We couldn't believe it. The guide and the dog jumped from the blind into the water and got away from for fear my dad was going to shoot somebody. That's the truth. Yeah, that's my only hunting story. The dog knew it was bad. And my father, like for months afterward, he would go like this. Oh, God damn it, I still have a ringing in my ears. He would do it for like years after that.
Is that why you're not the favorite son?
Well, he's dead.
I know, but we're not growing up.
He really did love my brother more and everything else. And my brother, became a ne'er-do-well. And my father did not see the complete breadth of my brother's ne'er-do-wellness. But my dad always knew I was going to do well, but couldn't wait for me to leave home. Wanted me to get out. Yeah.
You want a good hunting story? Call Dick Cheney.
All right. Let's go back to our audio and video, which is always, and now this is for Shuli and for Ira. High school students have a new themed beer pong game. Do we have the new, and of course, I'm just going to tell you now, are the rules brought up, Garrett, in this audio or video? Do we have the rules? Do they tell what's happening?
I don't think it's in the audio, but you can read them.
Well, I just want you boys to know that in this game, the rules such as an Anne Frank cup and the yelling out of Auschwitz is a part of this brand new high school senior game. Go ahead, play it. Here we go.
This is a wake-up call. We have to educate people that it's not okay.
A discriminatory drinking game sweeping through high schools, and now a Cape Coral school is finding itself in the middle of the controversy. Thanks for joining us. I'm Patrick Nolan.
And I'm Emily Dishno. The game involves underage drinking, but that isn't even the worst part. All new at 10, 4 Reporter Kelly Stegeman shows you the game is taking a very dark turn. Kelly?
That's right, guys. It's called Jews versus Nazis, and the version of beer pong is about as insensitive as it sounds. A Twitter post allegedly by a Cape Coral High School student playing the game was retweeted hundreds of times, even inspiring other teens to try it. This sound to you may be the sound of winning, a beer pong victory within your grasp. But the game seems to be taking a dark and insensitive turn.
Hold on. On one side, they have cups that are shaped like a swastika, and on the other side, they have cups, Star of David. Okay, go ahead.
Turn with a twist called Jews versus Nazis, trading in the triangles for a swastika and the Star of David. What do you think?
Well, as a rabbi, I like to look at the world as a beautiful place. So my first assumption is, let's assume it's just children that are immature with no ill intent, not trying to be malice.
Rabbi Yitzhak Minkowitz of the Chabad Lubavitch of Southwest Florida is hearing about this game for the first time. Are you surprised to see something like this?
No, I'm not.
It's a hot topic on Twitter. More than 1,600 retweets after a high school confessional tweeted the picture. claiming it's played at Cape Coral High School parties. The post is not only sparking conversation, it's inspiring partygoers. Since the post last month, these users have put it to the test.
This is a wake-up call. We're not doing enough of a job to educating people to be nicer, kinder, more polite.
The Lee County School District in an email tells me parents have an important role in this. Parental monitoring of social media needs to continue, especially and through the high school years. Of course, any use of a school name in a defamatory manner is disappointing, noting this post could have been made by anyone, anywhere. Rabbi Minkowitz notes a disconnect between this generation and those closer to the Holocaust. He says if we don't learn, it will be repeated.
Good is more powerful than bad.
Beer pong?
Good is more powerful than evil. And if we continue to make this world a good and better place, good will rise to the top.
I also talked to Rabbi Yoshi of the Chabad Center of Cape Coral, who says it's sad that such painful and serious subjects are trivialized by foolish games. He also says education is key. From the studio, Kelly Stegeman, Fox 4, in your corner.
So there's no discussion at all about the high school students playing beer pong?
Yeah. Well, here's the real...
they said it's bad. They said it's bad.
The real story is the reporter's cold calling a rabbi to do this story. Hi, may I speak to Rabbi Yoshi, please? To Yossi, by the way. And can I just say that I saw the setup of the swastika and the Star of David. The game's 100 times easier that way. You have 1 million more cups to shoot at.
There were a lot more cups to make the shapes.
Is it still on a table or is it on the floor? I'm picturing just the
It's on the table. It's on the table.
Okay.
One guy did it on a ping pong table. And let me tell you
so
something.
you're all for this game. You like
it's just the beginning. No. They got Kike Yahtzee. Have you seen that one? It's just the beginning.
Shalom, shalom.
Is that what you shut out when you get
Monopoly? It doesn't even need to be changed.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Brilliant.
Oh, my God. So that's, this year-end thing, this teachers are screwing the students. There's Jews versus Nazi beer pong. There's vaginal inspections,
There's parents crying hysterically over new math.
Those kids
boxes
with
and dots.
With the prank for the vagina inspections, they almost got like 2 students because they were all dressed with the official pussy inspector T-shirts that you've seen in stores. Yeah.
FBI.
Full body inspector.
Well, let's interrupt our audio video to go to Mac of Maple Shade, New Jersey. What a lovely town.
Sounds so nice there.
Is it filled with maple trees, and is it really as shady as the name would say? Shade.
I am looking at a maple shade tree right now. So yes, it really is.
Wow, that sounds so lovely. Well, go ahead, Mac of Maple Shade, New Jersey. Go ahead.
I wanted to do something that I've noticed you've been doing for the past 3 weeks at least. By the way, great show. I'm going to tell you a story of what I just saw today at Godzilla. Bryan Cranston could not wait to get off the movie. He was dead before the...
Oh, come on. No, come on, man.
Oh, they killed... Wait,
I turned him off. No spoiler?
Come on.
That's fine. I got to tell you something. Every time I read that Bryan Cranston, who is a great guy, and I've known him
phenomenal,
is in a movie, he's never in it very long. And so they kill him off in how many minutes in the movie?
I don't want to hear it.
He's gone.
No, I'm totally kidding. And by the way, he did a fantastic job, totally joking. And it wasn't a bad movie, but he actually brought everything to it. So I just wanted to...
Did you have to go with your kids, or did you go to Godzilla on your own?
I went all by myself on the 10th.
I would go by myself to go see that. I really would.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Gary, are you going to go? Are you going to go see it?
It reminded me of my dog every time he did an emotive thing. It was like, he reminds me of my dog. But that's
Godzilla reminded you of your dog?
Yeah,
what kind of dog do you have?
Because they added the emotive things to it.
Get out of Maple Tree, New Jersey.
Wait a minute. What am I missing here?
I don't know.
What am I missing? The emotive things. What did they add?
What, like he
So he did a sigh, a Godzilla sigh. Who would ever think Godzilla could do a sigh?
Does Godzilla take a shit and eat it at any point?
Hold
like,
on a
your
second.
dog?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Do they try and humanize Godzilla? Because Godzilla is not King Kong by any stretch.
100%.
That's part 2.
Give the movie away in any way, shape, or form. They totally humanized him. Absolutely.
Oh, come on.
He, other than squashing a few people here and there, he was a hero of the movie. And then you figure out, oh, shit, he's walking through something right now, and he just killed 100 people.
Yeah.
But that doesn't matter.
Somehow he's the hero of... Now, the movie, I have to tell you, this was done back in like 53 or 4 or whatever. It was only, think about this, maybe 52. It was only like 7 or 8 years from the dropping of atomic bombs on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. And it was really a statement. It was a statement about this incredible death and what, radioactivity did. So that's what it was originally about. And Raymond Burr was in the American version. So, they put Raymond.
Gojira.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
So
Gojira, not Godzilla, in the Japanese version.
Godzilla?
Yeah. How many times were you pushed into a locker in high school, Mac? How many times?
I was quite often, yeah. The reason why I was calling was because I had just been in Amsterdam 2 weeks ago, and I was thinking the whole goddamn time I'm going through Anne Frank's house, I had already listened to you, who had been through there. I'm walking up the stairs. You asshole! You ruined the whole thing for me. It's much bigger than I thought. That's all I could hear.
Now, I'm going to tell you, I didn't want to say this, but this is true. I go to a friend of mine's a furniture store, a husband and wife, friends of ours, and I walk in and I'm visiting the guy. We're talking, and I said, "Where's Gail?" He goes, "Oh, she's in Amsterdam right now." And in fact, in a couple of minutes, she's going to Skype with me from Amsterdam. I go, "You're kidding." So we get on the desk, and Gail's face comes on the screen, and I go, "Hey, what are you doing?" She says, "I just came back from Anne Frank's house." And I said, "Really?" She goes, "You bastard. It's bigger than I thought it was going to be." and what's sad is...
everybody that listens to you. You've utterly ruined it.
Here's the other thing, and Shuli, I don't remember who did this, but there is a famous person or a person that has actually written about this, that their brother or this is, an older person, their brother or sister went to school with Anne Frank there in Amsterdam, and she was absolutely universally disliked. Not because she was Jewish, but because they just didn't like her. And this is terrible to say, one of her classmates turned her into the Nazis. That's horrible to say, but it's true. Did you know that? Did they say that, Mac?
No, they didn't. That's interesting to know.
One of the kids she went to school with.
Because she didn't want to play Jews versus Nazi beer pong.
Well, probably. That's it. All right, Mac of Maple Shade, New Jersey. Thank you very much.
All these other games are popping up, Jay. These anti-Semitic games.
Sure. What about the last
Ausch Twister? Have you heard of that? Hungry Holocaust survivors is another one. Not good. Not good, people.
I've got 2 more stories. I'll call back another time. See ya. Bye.
Yeah, please do. See you later.
Send us an air check. Maybe we'll give you your own show.
Now, when your children are being educated, there's a lot of things going on now about education. And so what they're doing now is they're showing various things. These are psychological videos that have been made by educators in Wisconsin. Now, this was shown. The kids were young, right? I don't think they were high schoolers, right?
Like 7 to 13 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, they showed kids from 7 to 13.
No, the kids in the video are that old.
Oh, the kids in the video are that old, right?
They showed
this
high
was
school
shown
kids.
To high school
this video,
Thank you. Okay. The video, I'm sure, was made in California. I'm positive. But what it is it's kids being shown people of the same sex proposing to each other. And then in a high school class in Wisconsin, high school students, now these are, 17 and 18-year-old students, are then asked to comment on it. It does not exactly show positivity or total negativity. So, first of all, let's listen to the video, and then I will tell you what happened in the high schools. Go ahead. You're in a Walmart or something.
We're dancing in a Home Depot.
Oh, flash mob.
It's like an awesome flash mob. This is like my cheer dance thing. Is that his family? Grandparents? Why is there a boy right there? And why are they dancing? I should be in that video. His reaction, he's just like, oh my god.
Wait a second. Okay, so there's a guy getting proposed to, so...
He does have a nice suit, I have to say that.
When somebody proposes to me, that's what I want to happen. How do they get Home Depot to approve this, though? Is he a businessman? That's cool. Okay, so they're gay. But it's okay. Does he love him?
Good friends. Is he gonna propose?
I love you more than anything in this entire world.
So he kisses the other guy.
Proposing to a guy. Are they gay?
Will you marry me?
Marry who? You mean a boy marrying a boy?
That's nice.
Congratulations! This is crazy. How does a guy marry a guy? So they're gay?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was so cute. And it doesn't matter if, they're gay or anything.
That was just so cute. I can't even. Okay.
Now this is a lesbian.
Another version.
Now these are the lesbians.
Is that a girl?
Same kid.
It's a little dangerous standing on a bus.
Fish just fell off.
A little over 6 years ago.
I met a girl.
I'm crying.
You stole my heart.
I feel like I know what kind of topic this is.
It's like the first thing you do, try to pinch yourself.
They all know the words to the song.
I love him. Will you marry me? How does a girl propose to a girl and how does a guy propose to a guy? Are they gay too? And there comes.
Okay, you get it. They showed it. The kids say what they say.
Vote bot.
Guessing it's a yes.
Okay, all right,
That
thanks.
was
We
so
got it.
adorable.
And now,
Right, we got it.
And now the honeymoon video.
Now, the high school or high schools in Wisconsin, the superintendent has now had to apologize.
Oh, come on.
For running that video. Did you find that video to be pro or con or just a comment on
First of all, in all honesty, I thought it was beautiful, and I thought it was very...
Really?
I thought
Kids
it was...
are the most honest and
Absolutely,
those are very honest reactions.
They don't have a bullshit detector in them at that age, and I think, look, there's probably some kids that weren't cool with it, but the ones that they kept in the video, I think that's awesome.
And I think that you could tell which parents are kind of assholes and which ones aren't.
It's longer.
You said that during the week, Christina. You think that the little kid that said, "Are they gay? Is that a boy?"
How does a girl marry a girl? How does a guy marry a guy? It's like, I'm not saying...
Why do you think he got that from his parents?
Where else would it come from?
Well, it could be a thought that he has in his head after
You know
seeing
what?
it.
Do you think
I don't know.
Did your
I feel
parents
like,
ever discuss
the
gay
parents would
marriage
talk about
at the
it.
dinner table? Did your parents ever discuss gay marriage at the dinner table?
Well, no, I was born in the 80s.
Hold on. What
so
difference
gays
does it make?
weren't around yet.
I'm not saying that, but it wasn't a huge topic of conversation as it is
I don't
right
think
now.
I've ever
had
discussed
gay
it
cousins
at my table.
I had gay cousins, but marriage wasn't an option for them. So same-sex marriage was not ever something that we talked about. Them and their relationships, yeah, sure. But never them getting married because we didn't see it in the future.
So this was the discussion that was had by high school seniors, and the guys had to apologize because in Wisconsin they said, you're not supposed to. I mean, that's what's so odd. I remember having all kinds of crazy discussions in high school, and I went to a Catholic school.
The only bad thing about this is now all these kids think that gay people have huge over-the-top wedding proposals. Like they're all proposing standing on a bus in the middle of a crowded street doing a flash mob.
Yeah, I like the kid that goes, they're gay?
I love it, and I love that they all knew the words to that song. It was very cool.
Yeah. All right. So now, Brandon, you never really comment. I could just tell by your silence that you find a man kissing a man or a woman kissing a woman disgusting.
He was vomiting the entire time that video was playing.
It's gross to you. It's gross.
Oh, it isn't that bad, Jay.
I think
man and a man should kiss. Woman and a woman should kiss.
Would you ever kiss a man?
Why don't you kiss
Brandon?
Why don't you?
Nah.
Yeah, go ahead and kiss Brandon
to get him over his phobia.
Kiss Brandon?
Yeah.
On the lips.
Tell you what, kiss Brandon on the back of the neck. That'll be good.
Okay, back of the neck. Come on,
get
Brandon.
over there. Go on over
You
there.
have to go to him.
I can't go over there.
You got to go to him.
Go to him.
And Brandon, you have to stand completely still, or I'm going to tell Howard you wouldn't do
first,
it.
I quit. But first, put on. Hold on. Can we first put on that Everly Brothers song from Ghost when they were making pottery?
Wake up, little shoe.
We have that in the background.
What's it called?
We are going to break some ground here today, everybody.
By the way, was there anybody who wasn't disgusted in Ghost when they thought about Demi Moore with Whoopi
Fucking
Goldberg?
Whoopi? Jesus Christ. It's like, Demi, I have to, but you?
Come on.
This is not fair.
Kiss him.
You hear him like, come on.
Come on.
It takes him an hour to get over it.
It's going to be worth it.
How you doing, brother Brandon?
What's up,
Brandon.
Can I help you?
Brandon.
Back of the neck, Ira. Or
Is this
side of the neck.
foreplay?
That's okay.
This is foreplay.
Give him a kiss. A little friendly kiss on the neck. Little kiss. Ira, you're just hugging me. You're just posing. Like
Julie doesn't have a camera.
Yeah, I don't. Why are you looking at me like I want to take a picture?
Ira, pucker up.
Here you go, right here.
Kiss him on
Right there.
Here you go, right here. I'm not,
Right
I don't
there.
care. Go ahead.
Right there.
Kiss him on the neck.
No.
Right here. Give it a kiss. Come on, you said there's nothing wrong with it.
I'll be
now
along
we know
with
how
you. Do we
you
have to sing
feel.
that song?
Oh, so you're not so brave now, huh?
Once the stubble's right in front of your face, it's not so easy, is it?
Hey, you know what, Ira? Let's play a quick game of straight guy versus Jew beer pong. Let's do that real fast.
Star David versus a big dildo.
Not so easy once you get
Give him
over
a kiss
there
on the
and start-
cheek. Come on.
Wow, he's really uncomfortable right now.
I was
Thank
going
God
to
he's
run.
not an employee here. Otherwise, we'd have to go.
I was going to run and break his hip.
Garrett kissed him.
Garrett snuck him.
All right.
I'd make out with you.
I'm jealous.
On the fucking moon, but I'm sick. So
How
I
you
don't wanna
doing?
get this
All right, here we go. Have any of you ever gone on? Have any of you ever gone on Yelp?
Yeah,
Any of you?
all the time.
Yeah. And what do you complain?
I don't
Or you-
complain. I look
okay.
to see what other people say
Yes.
about stuff.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
good.
I see.
That's great for that.
Well,
Local,
we've hired
local
some
restaurants.
Jay.
We've hired some actors.
Jay.
What is it? Ira?
Listen, if a man wants to kiss a man, let them kiss a man. I prefer kissing a woman.
Norma?
Anybody. There's a lot of women out there.
We don't know who Norma is. That's what's so odd. Is Norma at your house right now?
I don't know where she is.
What are the possibilities? This is a long shot, but what are the possibilities? It's a Norman Bates thing where there is a skeletal structure
dead.
in
It's
a
his
chair
mom. His stuffed
that's
his
been
mother.
there for like 25 years.
Yeah. If Norma didn't come home for 3 days, would you call the police?
No, I would not.
Well, then
Just
maybe
let
we're
that
worried
happen.
about nothing there.
Yeah. So I've spent a lot of money. We're hired some actors to read Yelps that have been sent. Here we go. Do we have the actors, female and adult and male actors, to read the Yelp comments?
Some of them are very passionate.
Put music and everything.
A dinner at Tamarind of London is an unforgettable experience not to be missed. The restaurant is beautiful, the food is fantastic, and you will be thinking about your meal long after it's over. We started our night with almond and date naan, which was sweet and delicious. The buttered chicken, which is known in most places as maknaes, tender, moist pieces of dark meat chicken smothered in this delicious sauce with tomatoes,
This is getting me
honey, cardamom, and what I'm assuming is a pound of laxatives. 3 greens sag. It was delicious. It was cooked wonderfully. And there was no butter or cream, but fresh kale and spinach and mustard greens. It was hearty, bold, and certainly capable of demolishing even the stiffest of constipation. White dude working the tandoors. You go, sir. The tandoori prawns were cooked beautifully, seasoned to perfection, and tore through me with the awesome fury of the horseman of the apocalypse. Bravo. Bravo. The duck biryani. It's a special not on the menu. I would have to say it's not worth it. It's 2 cups of rice and a duck thigh. And we were surprised to discover later that it was $28. My date thought it was going to be around $8. My meal was delectable, exotic, and incinerated everything in my intestines. My morning was an unforgettable thrill ride. The exotic flavors and aromas of India came flooding back to me as I literally peed out my butt. 4 stars for the truly delicious food and unimpeachable service. -1 star for the expensive biryani and for turning me into a human flamethrower.
There you go. Thank you.
That was funny and sexy all at the same time.
It was all good, right?
Yeah.
It was all good. And since we are a bisexual show, let's have a male actor read the next one, please, Brandon. Crab cakes. Crab cakes.
I ordered the broiled crab cakes, and they were really good. And I called and asked if I could speak to the supervisor. And the girl that answered the phone wanted to know what it was in reference to. And I told her it was regarding the food I ordered, and she said what was wrong with it. And I said nothing. I just wanted to let him or her know that it was good. And she was like, okay, hold on. When the manager got on the phone, and I thanked him and let him know it was good, he said thank you and you're welcome. It seemed like he was in a rush. I don't think I'm going to eat there anymore. Because if the manager isn't nice, then what does that say about the business you're running? The people in it.
All right. There you go. Fun. And I mean, really.
Jay.
I mean, yes, sir.
I have a Yelp review of the Fox barbecue.
Really?
Yes.
No, what is it?
It's reading it like an actor.
It's barbecue. Comes up within the next week or so. Next week.
No, but how's the food?
Friday. Food is good. Beans and chicken and everything.
Is this all in the review? Everything you're telling us?
It's all in the review.
All right. Now, let's say you wake up and you're out of pot. What do?
Cry.
Suicide.
Or call 911. Do we have it, Brandon?
Police, fire, medical.
Tell my family I hate them.
Where can I get some marijuana? Excuse me? Where can I buy some marijuana this morning? Do you realize that you called the police department? No, I didn't. That's very interesting. Well, let me ask you the same question. It's a legitimate question.
Did you realize you called police?
Which question is that? Where can I buy some marijuana this morning? I would have no idea, sir. You would have no idea. All right, thank you. You're welcome.
All right. There you go.
And when the cops come to my door, you know what I tell them? I go, I'm with Internal Affairs. I was just texting.
I don't think they could find the guy.
I was testing the operator. Make sure she was.
Now, no, his phone number came up.
Yeah, but I think the article said that. I don't think they found him or something.
No, but so what? He's trying to buy. They can't arrest him for that, but it's the misuse of the phone.
I remember we prank called. Remember those safe rides? Like they used to have these companies that would pick you up if you're drunk and drive you home. So I remember I called we prank called a guy in Vegas who had a safe rides business, and we told him we were fucked up, but we had to pick up heroin on the way to another party, and the guy said he would do it. He said he charges like $150. He's like, yeah, I don't give a shit.
It's another Friday.
Gotta get a hooker, heroin. He's like, sure.
What is a motherfucker wallet? What is that? It says
you seen Pulp Fiction?
Bad motherfucker. It says on it.
Like when he pulls out.
And
his
they sell them. They actually sell them.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So this cop pulls over this guy, and you'll hear this thing. What's weird about this is this guy in the car has a police scanner in his lap. And he has a camera on the dashboard. So everything that's going on is being videoed, and he actually listens to the cop talking about him on a scanner. I find people like this, and and he's carrying a gun. I mean this. He says he's carrying, you'll hear all this. This is the kind of weirdo fucking creep that wants to carry a concealed weapon. And all of you out there that keep voting for this shit and everything else, it's not a normal group of individuals that needs a weapon. It's paranoid, complete fucking assholes. I'm not talking about a gun by your bed. I'm talking about a fucking zero that no one is after, that no one's going to do anything to, that thinks he needs a fucking weapon in his car. Listen to this asshole. Go ahead.
How you doing?
What's up?
Officer, I have a permit to carry a concealed weapon. It's in the glove box.
It's in the glove box, okay. The reason I stopped you in at Myrtle and Oak Hill, you ran the red light. I mean, we went through the green light, looked at you behind us, and you went through the red light.
I'm not even going to lie, man. I go through them all the time. I didn't know you were a cop.
Yeah, you were the police. You got your license on you, bud?
Yeah.
Lock him up. Is the gun locked in the box?
No, it's just hanging.
Do you have bad motherfucker wallet?
Yes, I
gotta let him go just on the fact he's got a bad motherfucker wallet. Let me see your CCW permit.
Dumb cop.
What do you guys? I mean, I haven't seen you guys out like this. Your new task force or something?
I run red lights all the time.
I put you guys on every once in a while.
You do. Here's your warning. Have a good day.
You do amateur radio and that stuff?
Yeah.
Sarah, you ready to mat? No.
Nah, what a douche.
Give me a minute, Nicholas, okay?
Sure.
Okay, now the camera's going and he starts listening.
I was wondering where this was coming in from.
He's listening.
Yeah.
In his lap. His eyes are darting back and forth. I'd have pulled this guy out and beaten the shit out of him. Big difference in our policing.
Is that a bad motherfucker wallet? Bam!
So he's listening surreptitiously in his life. How weird is this, huh?
Yeah.
Brandon, does he let him go?
Don't run the red lights.
So, what's Vice exactly?
Basically, we do narcotics and, prostitution, liquor, and general, just if you run a red light and we're around, we stop you.
Yeah.
We do everything. I mean,
Sounds like you do the cool shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Where are you headed?
I'm just cruising around looking at the aftermath. They got Mahoney County Sky Warrants kind of going through all the storm stuff.
Oh, okay. So you do all that stuff?
Yeah, just cruising.
Yeah, we had to cut around you because we couldn't drive through the shit you drove through.
I saw you go through that. I'm like, those guys aren't going through that, are they?
No, we cut around. We're quick. All right, Mr. Sarah, have a good one.
Later on.
Holy shit.
Unbelievable.
He lets this fucking asshole go with a gun who runs red lights, who is a total fucking, nerd asshole with a fucking gun.
What's your problem?
What?
Jay, you didn't break any law.
Wait 1 second, Ira. You look at that video and you think that guy's okay, Garrett. You think that guy's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
He has a gun that he's allowed to have, and he's videotaping. I don't know why.
He shouldn't be allowed to have a gun.
Piss you off at all that, when you're just you're walking your dog in the park, and then you had a violation and had to go down to the courthouse and everything? You didn't get away from it.
And he said he does it all the time.
It doesn't, and he's admitting to doing it all the time. Like, people like this don't piss you off.
No, I wish I got let go like that.
My problem
is you don't find him creepy with the radio and the camera. You don't find that creepy.
No, he's doing like a storm track or whatever. So he's trying.
But
to
why is the camera facing him?
That's the only creepy part.
Yeah,
that's the one thing I don't like.
And the other thing is, my bigger problem is with the cop than this guy, because this guy doesn't have drugs on him or whatever. But what if he's got a body in the fucking truck and you just let him go because he's got a dumb wallet that you like?
He sounds like the idiots from Brooklyn that pull me over and be like, your last name is Palumbo? Oh yeah, you're Italian.
He's flirting with this guy like he wants to fuck him. He's like, oh, you related to Matt?
What's voice
Sarah?
like?
What's yeah, everybody wants to bang each other.
What, Ira?
Jay, I have a bad motherfucker fanny pack.
All right.
Get him off. Get him off. Don't get yourself a soda.
He's like a parrot and just repeats the things he's heard many times for no reason.
I just got this from Laura Lou to jthomasshow@gmail.com. I just wanted to let you know that my husband called me to tell me he was just listening to the show on his ride home from work. He was drinking a smoothie, and what Ira had just said made him spit his smoothie all over the dashboard and the windshield. He's home right now in the driveway, cleaning his car and saying, fucking Ira, fucking Ira.
What was the line?
Yeah.
We don't know. I don't know. Laura Lou, whatever. Ask your husband what it was that Ira said. He's been, on fire. Absolutely on fucking fire today. So.
Was it when he called the guy Mr. Roboto?
I don't know.
He called him the human Kendall.
I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
It took me a minute.
I didn't wait a minute until just now. I didn't get it. Oh, God. He meant the Kindle the reading thing?
Yes.
Oh, God.
He said, I don't know what that was. Can you read me Heaven is Near?
Oh, my God. Let's go to Chris of Virginia. Yes, Chris, go ahead.
I know Chris.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, do you seriously disagree with concealed weapons? Do you think no one should have the right to carry concealed weapons?
No. If something's wrong with it, somebody's after you or some shit, but no, and I'm sure you carry one too. The average citizen doesn't need a concealed weapon in his car. You just don't.
So
maybe in your home by your bed or something for a break-in, but that's about it.
Right, but what if I'm just a normal citizen, but I have a concealed weapons permit, but it's for a crazy.
Why?
People like
Who's after you? Who's after you? Who's after you?
The guy who shot up the Colorado theater and stuff like that.
Oh, please. By the way, you're going to pull your gun up and kill 4 people while you're trying to kill that guy. He didn't stand there and say, oh, whoever has a concealed weapon, shoot me. He didn't do it. He crouched down. You couldn't get him. You couldn't shoot him.
What do you have to do to get a concealed weapon permit? Do you have
to
be
an asshole and live in Virginia? That's all.
How would you
be an asshole,
be able
named
to do
Chris, and live in Virginia.
Let me ask you a question, Jay. Is your show getting so low a ratings that you have to be so provocative like that?
No, he's always like that, actually.
No.
We don't get ratings.
No. Hold it a second,
We don't
Chris.
even have ratings.
You're listening. By the way, you're listening. I'm not. I wouldn't listen to this fucking show if they paid me, and they do. I don't get any of it, okay? I don't get any of it.
You don't expect
but
the
let me
host to
tell you
fire
something,
back with
Chris.
that.
I want you to ask me one question. Who is after you?
No one. But it's
Thank you. Get rid of him. He's a fucking asshole.
Get rid of him,
No
Jay.
one's after him.
So you don't have to do any kind of like a boot camp or a training to get a permit?
No.
Depends on the state.
Some states.
Okay.
Some states.
Like New York.
Because I find it hard to believe that anybody would just be able to react in that situation like they're some kind of a cop.
Well, imagine the guy's in the theater, the guy comes in to shoot up the Dark Knight, and he goes, hold on, let me run out to my car, unlock my glove box, come back in.
In Colorado, there were 3 or 4 people that admitted they were carrying concealed weapons when the guy shot the movie theater up. And let me tell you what they did, these brave individuals. They hid under the seats.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
Of course
okay, hold
they
on
did.
a minute. And in Florida, when the guy shot the poor bastard who was texting or whatever, there were another group of individuals that had concealed weapons. They did absolutely nothing because the average concealed weapon carrier is a total paranoid chicken shit with a small dick. We'll be right back.
So what's your name? Jay Thomas. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go! This is the Jay Thomas Show. Jay Thomas. You understand what I'm saying to you? Howard 101.
Let's go to Lee, who is in Missouri on line 7. Yes, Lee, go ahead.
Hey.
How you doing,
first
Lee?
of all, I want to say...
Hello, Lee. How are you, Lee?
Good. I'm good.
Lee.
Hey, you know
Hi,
what's
Lee.
funny is I called in, didn't get put on hold, and I go right on the air because you have no listeners, dude. You're a total status, and no one wants to hear your bullshit.
But you're still listening.
Lee, I'm not. Hold on a second, Lee. I'm not anti-gun. I'm anti-gun. Yeah, that's all full. I know. Yeah, I'm anti-gun carrier. Lee, it's assholes like you and the other guy that called. I don't want you having a gun. You're a fucking jerk off.
I had a feeling this might happen.
You know what? Okay, seriously, the Supreme Court has ruled repeatedly the last 2 decades that the police have no duty or responsibility to protect Americans.
Lee, I don't care what the rules are. Lee, you're a dangerous, insecure, small-dicked asshole.
Boy,
And that's it. And Lee, you know what's sad, Lee? You know you're a fucking loser. And that's why you need a gun. Because guess what? Nobody wants to kill me or Shuli or anybody else. But people want to kill you, Lee. And good. I can't wait till they fucking get you. I want to read about your bullet-riddled body in the newspaper.
They're gonna
where you have
snipe you.
And you have your little 22, and you're trying to shoot him with your concealed weapon. I don't give a fuck about you, Lee. You don't care about me, and I don't care about you. Makes us even.
Welcome to the Jay Thomas Show. What's your question, Lee?
Hey, Lee, really tough fucking guys. I know who really tough guys are. You're not. You're a chicken shit who needs a weapon. Why don't you learn fucking karate or something? Hey, Lee. Hey, Lee, seriously. Hey, Lee, really. When you're coming, I mean, really, do you ever yell your own name? Because that's the only sex apparently you have. All right?
You know what? It's kind of, I mean, you're not a radio host and you're having fun, but it's sad that you don't acknowledge, like, police response times. You don't acknowledge the murders that are that would be preventable if the police would get there.
Lee, you know what? I don't want anybody dying for my freedom, and I don't need you protecting me. I don't need it.
I have a concealed weapon, and it's protected by my zipper.
The problem is that you New Yorkers, you're a bunch of, you worship the jackboots. Like,
I'm not a New Yorker. Yeah. I'm in fucking New Orleans, Louisiana. I've never...
And who's Jack?
Never even had a home in fucking New York.
What is this?
New Orleans, Louisiana, where there are more fucking killings. Lee, look. Just accept it.
Your big cities, you have problems there, and I understand that. But then you.
Where do you live? What's the name of the town you live in? Where do you live? Cape Girardeau?
I'm not down to the town where I live. I live in central Missouri.
See, he is scared.
Okay,
yeah, you don't even live in a dangerous town. You're just a chicken shit that needs a gun. And you're too... Listen, you know what, Lee? I could probably beat you up. That's the saddest part of this conversation. And you'd have to shoot me as I was beating your fucking ass. Okay? Get rid of him. Get rid of him. Chicken shit. You're a chicken shit. Get rid of him. Yeah, George Zimmerman.
Lee
thanks.
Zimmerman.
Jay, my rectum is circumcised. FYI.
Your rectum? That's what it sounded like, right?
No, that's wrong.
What did he say?
His weapon, he meant. Now, let me tell you where you need a gun. Let me tell you where you need a gun. You need a gun in El Paso, Texas. The most dangerous drug-addled. When you stop in El Paso, when I'm driving cross country, you stop anywhere, and there are missing persons posters everywhere. Everybody's missing, everybody. And there are dead bodies everywhere. Let's go to Juan in El Paso. Juan, you live in a place where you need a concealed weapon. What are you carrying right now? What are you carrying?
Well, nothing, but I need to correct you, Jay.
You fool! You fool! You dumb idiot! The guy from Central Missouri, the chicken shit, doesn't need a weapon. Mail it to Juan of El Paso. Please!
I got a pair of hands. I don't need a fucking gun, man.
You have a pair of hands.
That's right.
You're the kind of guy that needs a gun. You need a gun.
Yeah, because the cartels have lots of them.
No, the people in Juarez need a gun. We're okay in El Paso, man. In El Paso, there's nothing going on.
All right.
So anyways,
Look out behind you, sir.
I'm driving a truck.
Oh. All right.
Hey,
well,
so I think that in Texas anybody can carry a gun now.
I think Jay's been shot. Jay, are you there?
No, I'm listening.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to hear what he had to say. Juan, listen. Yeah. I'm gonna say goodbye to you now. Drive to a sporting goods store and buy a weapon immediately. Thank you, Juan of El Paso. He needs a gun.
Have a good weekend,
I've
Juan.
been there. Have a good weekend. All right. Let's go to Shane, who's in Charlotte, North Carolina, where I have spent quite a bit of my life. I am not a New Yorker, and I am proud not to be.
Hi, Shane.
Was a gun needed there?
Shane. In fact, I've made a lot of money playing New York Jewish individuals, but I am not one. Shane, go ahead.
Hey, hope you guys are having a good afternoon. Here in Charlotte, the gun control stuff is real lax, and it's easy to get a concealed carry. One of the toughest places in the world to get one's New York City, but Howard Stern still has one. So are you calling him an asshole?
No. A person like Howard or Opie, hold it, or Opie and Anthony. I said people that need one in case someone fucks with them. Nobody is fucking with Lee of Missouri. Nobody.
He has security guards. Why does he need a concealed carry? They have guns.
He's an individual who has probably been threatened, and I know lots of actors that have been threatened, and lots of people who have. I mean, years ago, a guy threatened me when I was on the air in L.A., and I was offered a concealed to carry, and I decided not to have it. We've been physically threatened by people, and you are that big of of notoriety with all the nuts that are fans or non.
I mean, when you have to be guarded the minute you walk out of your place
Shane,
of
you
work.
knew the answer. You knew the answer before you asked me the question. You're another chicken shit with a gun. You're probably a cop. Are you a cop, Shane? Hey, Shane, are you a cop?
Yep.
Okay, then congratulations. You have a gun. You have a gun. And you know what? Let me tell you something. I've lived around Charlotte my whole life. You know there are assholes out there that don't need their concealed permit. You know it. So why pretend? Why pretend?
Howard Stern's an asshole is what you're saying.
No, you said that. You said
that. You said people can.
I did not.
What are we on the fucking playground? You're rubber, I'm glue. Come on, grow the fuck up.
I said Lee of Missouri and Shane of Charlotte are assholes, and I said that.
Dangerous place, Missouri ain't that safe, buddy.
You're not a cop. You're a liar cop. You're probably a security guard. Just like the Hillside Strangler from Bellingham, Washington, who had a concealed weapon.
You're saying he's a rent-a-cop, Jay? Is that what you're saying?
He's a rent-a-cop. They said, get rid of you, get rid of you, get rid of you, get rid of Jay, get rid of you.
Hey, Shane, how many on the buttons did I hit?
Get rid of you.
All right,
get rid of you.
Get rid of him.
Get rid of you.
Get rid of him.
Can we make that a bumper,
hold on a
Brandon?
second. Is it not true that when I mention guns, every asshole...
Guns and bass guitars. Those are the two topics.
Well, that's true. Yes, what is
Guns don't kill people. Little dick people kill people.
Why would they use that slogan?
Get him off. Get him off.
No, you actually said something good. You said, let's go to Virginia.
It's like an abused wife. He's always flinching over.
Let's go to Justin of Virginia, who was our guest earlier and looks just like...
Shane, one thing I have to tell you in front of everybody. Today I did not doze off one bit.
That is not true.
No, yes it is. His eyes were open when he was looking up at the ceiling. I checked several times.
This show went along like really, really beautiful. And I want to say this to you, Jay.
I want to say this. He's going to pass out before we finish.
There's still beautiful 10 weekend
minutes left.
with your whole
all right. We've had enough. I'm dealing with the guns now. Get rid of it.
Okay,
all
deal
right.
with the guns.
All right, Justin in Virginia, go ahead.
Hi, Justin.
All right,
Hey,
be
how
quiet.
you guys doing?
We're good.
Hey,
Are you going to shoot a gun or shoot your...
Shut up. Shut up, Ira. Go ahead, Justin.
So I'm actually a veteran. I've done 3 tours overseas. I don't have a concealed permit. I'm a New York State resident. I've thought about getting one, and it kind of gets back to where you're saying you're just putting yourself in a dumb situation. You're going to have a bunch of assholes out there that have concealed weapons, and what's to say something happens and you don't get mistaken for the shooter, because you've got a gun. But I guess what I'm getting at, are you in favor of veterans having a concealed carry permit? Do you think that that's something that would be okay?
Not with 25% of them having post-traumatic stress disorders. No, I'm not.
It's not any fault of your own,
By the way, every time we turn on the TV or you hear a report, it seems like every veteran who comes back is completely
heartbreaking,
fucked up and crazed. And so now I don't know if you're fucked up and crazed, but yeah, I think that if you have been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress, I wouldn't.
I mean, we just had another shooting on the same base that we had a shooting on a couple years ago. And yeah, I mean, these poor guys, and this guy is begging people. He's telling people, I'm fucked up. I've seen too much shit. I need help. I'm hearing voices. And they just prescribe medication and fucking move along. Cause they got so many guys like that they just, they don't want, they're not even trying to help. It's really sad.
I agree. I agree with some of the things you're saying. The behavioral health department in the military is behind as far as treating and diagnosing soldiers. But like I said, I don't know the soldier who did that. I can't speak on his behalf, but I know in the history of his job description and the things that he had done in Iraq, there was no reason for him to have, and I understand everyone reacts differently, but I'm not insane by any means. I'm not going to go run around shooting.
Well, then that's fine. If you're not on medication and you think you need a weapon and it's the legal thing to do, it's fine. But I'm going to tell you something. You just heard those 2 guys before. I'm telling you, I've been around guns and gun carriers my whole life. I even have an asshole kid that wants to carry a fucking weapon outside, and he does when we're in the states where he can do it. A real tough guy is going to kill a chicken shit concealed weapon guy. And most concealed weapon guys do not pull their gun out because they're paranoid chicken shits. Not people that are threatened by deranged fans or people that are in the spotlight. Absolutely not. Listen, if I was Howard or I was Opie and Anthony or somebody that people really were like fucking with by the millions, I'd have the biggest goddamn gun you've ever seen. The biggest gun you've ever... Don Imus, I love him. He has his gun on the control board of his radio show. I love that about him. He has the cowboy hat and the 6-shooter on the control board right there. So, yeah, I mean, if somebody's going to fuck with me, sure. I mean, look, if somebody drove by my house 3 times and fucked with my house or something, I'd get we have so many guns in my house.
I come out the next day and protect you, Jay.
We have those holes cut in the side of our house, just like in the old cowboy days, outside of where you could stick the rifle through and shoot at people. We have that. I'm not joking. Oh, we have that. We have it. Oh yeah.
Ira, you would take a bullet for Jay?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Wow. You would jump in front of me?
Yes.
All right. If Justin had a flashback and he thought I was an Iraqi.
Yes, I would, Jay. Yes,
you would throw yourself right in front of me. Okay. That would make people really spit their smoothies up. Yeah.
I did have another question. I don't know if you've gotten a chance to get on the YouTube or whatnot, but the guys that had called in earlier, like what you were playing, the sound clip there, the guy who got pulled over by the cops. Are you familiar with there's like guys that go around and all they do is try to antagonize the police and that, put themselves in a bad position on film. Do you think that that's something that provides service?
You know what? I didn't realize that's what he was doing, but you've answered it. He says he runs red lights all the time. He wanted them to do something to him. He had the video going and the little thing. And remember, Justin, he had a concealed weapon. Now what do you think of that?
I don't know that guy, but he seemed like he was just trying to get himself into, trying to get that guy to do something stupid. Yeah.
That's right.
But yeah, and that's what I was going to say was that, like, people do that, but then they post it on the internet, and then you got people going out there and doing copycat stuff. But do you think that that's helpful at all in situations where maybe an officer might be abusing his power?
No.
Okay. All right.
You know what? If a cop feels though he has to drag somebody out of a car and beat him, it's okay with me.
Yeah, I agree. All right.
How many people have you met in life, Jay, that after you meet him, you go, "Oh, that guy needs a good ass beat."
Yeah,
that guy needs a good
think
ass.
that after they meet Jay.
Yeah. By the way,
By the way, cop stops me.
Yep.
A large person confronts me or anything that I can't handle. I'm the nicest guy you've ever met.
Sure.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Did my car actually go in front of you by accident? I am very sorry.
Oh, I remember
Whatever.
I had a airbag.
But if I see a Shane of Charlotte or a Chris of wherever he was from, Missouri, I give him the bird and go, "Hey, why don't you pull your gun out now, chicken shit?" Like that. Come on, small dick, pull it out. That's all. There you go.
Jay, here is my final thoughts from
I had my finger
show.
shot off like that one.
Thank you.
Right.
It's a good thought.
Right.
Jerry Springer all of a sudden.
Thank you.
Are we supposed to guess your final thought? Is that what it is?
It's a final thought.
Oh, all right.
Well, we're
Can
a
you
long
guess
way
what
from
it
your
is? Well, Jay,
how do we do?
Yes.
This show hit the top 10s today.
No, it didn't.
We got 5
let's go
minutes
to
left.
Maxwell. Let's go to Maxwell.
How
who is
you
in
doing,
Florida.
Maxwell?
Yeah. Go ahead, Maxwell. Yeah. Turn your radio down, please. Turn it down, Maxwell.
Speak like a human, please.
It's down. Hey, I love you.
How you doing, Maxwell?
Hey, I was just going to ask you, man. I mean, I understand the fact that you hate guns and understand, but how can we protect Eric's butthole without weapons?
All right, get rid of him.
It's a valid
I
question.
didn't even hear what he said.
Eric's butthole. Is that right?
We need to save it.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Maxwell. You know what's sad? I don't know who all those people are.
You don't have to know Eric to know his butthole needs saving.
I just want to tell everybody, those of us that, it's like you guys that work at a sewage plant. You don't go back to the plant and like smell the sewage just to, get the aroma and relive it. Once the radio goes off, I don't listen to anybody. And I don't find anybody interesting but me. I never ever saw a television show that I was on when I wasn't on it.
That guy sounded like he was windmilling the phone like Pete Townsend.
Wait a minute.
In The Who.
I've never watched the David Letterman show except when I was on it. How long has he been on the air? 25 years?
There's a great
thing.
thing.
Thought of that the other.
There's a great
I
thing.
just thought of that the other day. I've never sat down and watched David Letterman like at 11:30 at night ever.
I remember Norm Macdonald was on Conan O'Brien's show years ago, and he mentioned something about Tom Snyder, and Conan O'Brien goes, "Well, Tom Snyder's on opposite us. How come you're not watching my show?" And he goes, "Well, I wasn't on your show. Why would I watch it?"
That's right. Yeah, I never watched the talk. I never watched Murphy. I thought Murphy Brown was awful. I thought they were all overacting and it was all ridiculous. I get hired.
It's your favorite show.
I liked it when it was on. I liked it when I was on it. When I wasn't on it, I didn't. Cheers, I liked when I wasn't on it, which I was really surprised by. I watched a couple of episodes.
Even after or before?
No, I never watched it. So I watched Cheers. I'd been on it and I watched it, but this show's pretty funny. I can't explain it. I don't know. And when I listen to the radio, I listen to like the religious channels because I just want to hear, them quote the Bible and stuff. And I just love hearing all kind of weird, or I listen to, Coast to Coast.
That's my favorite. Mm-hmm. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to him, Casey Kasem? He's on the missing, Jay.
Well, he was missing, but I think they found him.
I think he has Parkinson's disease.
Yes, he's got. No, it's not Parkinson's.
Nothing.
You know what? It's a disease, Garrett, that has a person's name in it. It's like Lindboy disease.
This is your top 40 station, W.
Yeah.
KAU in California, playing all the top 40 tunes. This is a big eye.
It's like fantasy camp for him every Friday.
I would be better than Casey Kasem, Jay.
He gets to
send out a long distance dedication.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go to Chris of Staten Island. Yes,
Hey,
Chris, go ahead.
Staten Island, it's going to be 70 degrees. Staten Island over the weekend.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you,
totally
Tigger, for giving us the weather, Tigger. He sounds just like Tigger to me. All right, go ahead, Chris of Staten Island.
Hey, what's up, man?
We're good.
Oh, yo, you hear me?
Yes. We're listening. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
One minute.
Julie,
One
I'm
minute.
Thursday calling. Yeah,
we have 1 minute. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, pretty much, this whole thing with the whole gun idea and all that, my cousin's becoming a cop. The kid's really he's not a big kid. He's, you can see he was kind of picked on a little bit as, growing up.
Sure.
And here's my whole thing with this. I'm not for, people not having guns or against them, kind of like,
Now, wait a minute. You're thinking as a skinny little cop out of